I do have Daughter of Christ and Brother Jai Apologetics with me, who are going to help us to unpack. But from my perspective, they are joining us to make us laugh what the Dawah gangs are doing. Peace of Christ be with you, brother. Gentlemen's first.
Thank you, sister. Peace of Christ be with you and with Daughter of Christ and with all of the viewers. Yes, today our topic is about Dawah deception, a little bit about how the Muslim missionaries use deception to lie to the people about their own Dawah.
Why would someone do that? That was supposed to be invitation to Islam. Why would someone lie the way they do their invitation to Islam or the way they deceive people? Why would someone do that? Just doesn't look right at all.
Well, when they're following who they believe is the best of all deceivers, they're merely just imitating their God, their false God, the God of the Quran. They're just imitating him, being deceivers like him.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they do it. But yeah, so that's my thoughts.
Yeah, so along the way, we will be talking about what is happening in Qatar World Cup and how people are deceiving. We will be talking about the deceptions was put together by Dawah gangs from Zakir Naik, as well as another man whose heart beats with the deception, Uthman bin Farooq. So it should be all fun. It should be all fun. Beloved, peace of Christ be with you.
And be with you, sister. I'm so excited because the three of us are back together again on a stream after a long time. I'm so happy. I'm going to have lots of fun tonight with you guys.
Why do you think it's fun, sister? We are talking about like very serious people and very serious things.
Well, you asked, sister. You asked how it is that people lie to invite people to Islam. And I say, people who want to kidnap you or take you to a place that's not good, how do they get you there? They with a lie. They say, oh, come have some ice cream, come have, sweets, and I'll take you to a good place. And then the next thing you're in a horrible place. So it's pretty much the same thing with Islam because it's so horrible. They have to lie to invite you in.
Yeah. Sadly, that's the ideology is out there. So there is a World Cup is taking place in Qatar. There are lots of things in social media how Islam is being perfectly represented, all that, how people even from UK as well as from the different part of the world, missionaries went to Qatar to do dawah. You can get to see them how they are doing dawah all over the social media. I didn't pick up in case I missed it, but no one is talking about hundreds of people are died under the human trafficking and modern day slavery as Qatar is building those football stadiums. And also on the social media, some of you probably picked up, you saw a video where Zakir Naik, who was telling people if you eat pig, you become pig, and half camel urine was healthy and good, and therefore Islam is from God. This man was invited to Qatar to preach on Islam. By itself, it's all funny, but anyway, so people went there, and that is this video circulating how people are becoming Muslim. Of course, it breaks the heart of our God to know that there are people who are making their way to hell. That's like heartbreaking for us as well as heartbreaking for our God. And it's just all over the social media. So we just wanted to pick up a couple of things and then kind of see what is happening there. Brother Jai, I think you've got a short video where Zakir Naik is converting people. Let's start with that video and then we see if that is what is happening.
So first we have a Twitter post, a tweet, okay? And this is congratulating Zakir Naik, saying they come to watch the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. After listening to the call of Allah, they converted to Islam. Allahu Akbar.
So what is
And
happening? So people are in
so,
Qatar. They are
so
listening Zakir Naik and they are becoming Muslim. Is that correct understanding from my side?
right, and then there's a video right underneath it, and you would assume, what would you assume? That the video is what he's talking about, right? Like, this is the people that you see Zakir Naik on stage, then you see a sheikh, and then you see the 4 people that supposedly are converting to Islam. And this is happening when? 2022 in Qatar at the World Cup. Okay, so you can see the dates, November 20th, 2022. And this is, I got this from a news video. They covered this. I didn't know whether or not we would get copyrights or something like that if we played it. So what I did is I just went right to the sources, and let's go. So here's the video that this is 4 people accepting Islam in Qatar by Dr. Zakir Naik. Aha, what's the date say? It says 2016. So this is posted when? 6 years ago. And this is, as you can see, it's not as good, quality, but you can see there's Zakir Naik, there's the sheikh, and there's the 4 people. You can see the same green. I'll show you one more time. Look at the picture. Okay, there's the green, there's the sheikh, there's the 4 men, there's Zakir Naik. Okay, now we're gonna go to the video from 6 years ago, not from a week, 2 weeks ago, from 6 years ago. Here we have Zakir Naik, the sheikh, and the 4 men. Okay, 2016, not 2022 at the World Cup. Okay, so this is a little bit of the Dawah deception that we're talking about.
Okay.
People are claiming. Yeah, go ahead.
Go on.
People are claiming that people are converting to Islam. They're posting videos about people supposedly converting to Islam at the World Cup. But what's really happening is they're posting videos from 6 years ago. 6 years ago. And claiming it's happening today. So this is Dawah deception at its core.
So you've got a video which Muslims are giving the image that video just happened 2 weeks ago, yet that video is 6 years old. Did you watch the full video?
It's not terribly long. I mean, we could watch it if you're interested. We can watch it now, but it's not happening in last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever they're saying it happened.
Yeah, I was just curious. As like they're asking people to say the Shahada, I was just curious if they are talking about Allah's body parts, how Islam is the religion of shirk, how Islam hates black people, how Islam encourages slavery, all those things. I was just curious if they shared that information.
Oh, no.
No, they didn't?
No, Zakir Naik failed. The Zakir Naik and the sheikh failed to mention that. They failed to mention that Allah has a body, that he also he sits on a throne, and that he gets off his throne, and sometimes some Muslims say he's above the throne, and then he goes below the throne when he's going to the lowest part of the heavens at the third part of the night, and then so he's like in an elevator going up and down. No, they didn't mention any of that. They didn't mention the racism in Islam, the slavery in Islam, the child marriage in Islam. No, they didn't mention that.
Apostasy?
They didn't. I don't think they got the memo that this is like it's kind of like a gang, like you have to, the only way you can come out is if it's in like a body bag, basically. That's the only, they didn't say that to them.
Did they tell him they have to get circumcised?
I don't it's not on the video.
Okay.
So
okay, they just forgot the share the essentials. That's okay. Beloved, what are your thoughts on this video how Dawah is deceiving people.
I think if they are happy to use a 6-year-old video as something that they're meant to be doing now to get rich Arabs to give them money or Muslims to give them money. Oh, give us money. Look, we're converting people in Qatar. If they're happy to use that, then I would question the original video too. Because if they're happy to lie now, they might as well have lied back then, and maybe it was all staged from beginning to end.
Oh, you think it was staged? You think they were paid $5 to come up and then just repeat after me?
I can't trust anything, can I? Because
So,
how are you going to lie to me now and expect me to believe you from 6 years ago?
so I have a question. So, are you saying that there are people who say that they became Muslims just now, but really they've always been Muslims?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I wonder if we can show evidence of that tonight in the stream.
Do
We
you have
can.
any evidence, sister? You can't just say things and then like expect us to believe it. So you've got to provide some evidence.
Oh, they don't have to provide evidence. We are always the ones to provide evidence. It's not fair. But we do have that.
They never lie.
Yes.
Okay, do you have it or do you want me to show it from this end?
Please show it, sister.
Okay, it's coming. It's coming.
Okay, so we're looking for someone who has always been Muslim, been born Muslim, and all of a sudden, I converted, mashallah, I came to Islam 5 days ago at the conference, touched my heart. But really, they've always been in a Muslim family. Something that I've never seen someone who claiming to be a Christian ever doing, saying that we brought people to Jesus, give us donation, and using a 6-year-old video. I've never seen that. I don't know about Brother Jai.
No. Oh, okay, here it is. Here it is.
Do you see that?
Dr. Coco. Okay, yeah.
It says Dr. Coco at the top. I just converted to Islam in Doha, Qatar. I've come here to watch World Cup after seeing the generosity of Muslims. I feel like I'm on the wrong path. Please, sisters and brothers, welcome me to Islam. But it looks like this Dr. Coco, same logo from what? 1201 to 2013.
Wow, even before the Zakir Naik video.
How long ago is 2013, sister?
9 years ago.
9 years ago, saying, I'm a Sunni Muslim and I strongly condemn such and such Shia genocide. I want army to take over Qatar and put an end to it. So how is it that she just converted to Islam? How is it in the World Cup?
So one of them is dated 22 November 2022. Other one is dated 12 January 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there are people who claim to just become Muslim, but really they've always been Muslim. So to your original point, yeah, I think that's a good chance that those 4 people that quote unquote converted to Islam, even back in 2016, could have been just like this.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they were paid to go on the stage and then do just repeat after meeting. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
And what kind of what kind of stupid reason is after seeing the generosity of Muslim, I wanted to be a Muslim? So
I'm just when I first read that, I was thinking like, does Islam even encourages generosity? Remember when people went to Muhammad's house? Allah stepped in and then said like, tell them to eat before they come. Don't allow them to stay at yours long time. And Muhammad was too shy to say that, Surah 33. Allah steps in and then Allah speaks on Muhammad's behalf and then say, eat before you come. Don't spend too much time in his house. Not like just like if baklava and Turkish delights and dates are the reason you are becoming a Muslim because that's the generosity of Muslims. What about the generosity of Islam? Islam is so generous, gives you lots of things after taking off your head.
But that's not a reason. So what if some devil worshippers were generous to you? You're gonna be a devil worshipper? What kind of stupid reason is that? So you felt you're on the wrong path because someone gave you some baklava or something? Like, come on, man. What kind of stupidity is that?
Do you think I am generous person?
Yes.
I think I don't want to be very humble, but I think I'm like okay person, not that generous, but I am okay person. And I don't have any followers at all. Like
Oh,
no
no.
one is becoming Christian because of my generosity, because we don't buy people.
But Muhammad did. He
Well,
did. He gave people called mu'allafati qulubuhum, the ones whose hearts have been unified, money so that they can be invited to Islam, so they can be
Yeah,
Muslim. That's part of the zakah money, is to go to these people to invite people to Islam.
exactly.
Paying, bribing people to come. So go on, bro.
I have a question for you, sisters. Have you ever been to the zoo before? Have you been to zoos before?
I've been to zoos before. I wanted to buy get the camel urine. They asked me to
Yeah.
provide.
Okay.
So I've been to the zoo.
Okay. So you both been to zoos before? You've seen zoos before?
I went as a child, but not since
Okay.
then.
Okay. So you know how they have like exhibitions, or just like, you know, things staged for, so you can see the animals. You can like
Yeah.
watch them through glass and stuff. Okay. So I want to show you another thing that they're doing at the World Cup right here. Okay. They so they have the Muslims praying behind the glass wall, so everyone can look at it. It's like you're kind of like spying and looking. Oh, look at them praying. Look at this. This is again, yeah, more Dawah deception that they're doing. And yeah. So I just want to share that with you, sisters.
Yeah,
I hate to break it to them, but it looks stupid.
even there is like videos where like people are inside and they're giving dates to people, and then just they're telling like apparently this mosque is like built specially.
A glass mosque, so people can observe and, you know,
Yeah.
they can
Why
learn.
the glass though? What is it? Because they're too impure to be in the same space as these unbelievers?
Yeah. Yeah, right. That's a good question.
And what if a
So-
woman passes? What if a woman passes by? They will cut the prayer of these men.
Actually, you can see like the reflections on the other side, like over here. You can see there are it's mixed people, mixed. So yeah, I mean their prayers are invalid according to Muhammad.
Also, don't you need to be like touching to one another when you pray? They've got lots of space between them.
And that's a good point too. Yes, your shoulders and your feet need to be touching in a row with no gaps.
Did you see the one? There was another one. Did you see the one like they are giving dates out on the street? And then just like there was another video where they're like saying, "Oh, would you like to try hijab?" And then people would put the hijab. Just like so much messed up. Like
I haven't seen that one in particular, but I have seen so much of this nonsense. It's just crazy. Like I've seen a lot of the Dawah Muslims getting their followers to fly them over to buy them tickets to the World Cup and to so that they can quote unquote do Dawah. Really, they just want to watch the World Cup. But they're getting paid to go, and more Dawah deception. And they're you know, using their funds to go watch people play football or play soccer. In America, that's what it's called, and that's what they're using their followers for, Dawah deception. Hey, we want to go do Dawah in a Muslim country, and we want you to buy our tickets, pay for our tickets. Sorry, getting tongue tied. Pay for our tickets, buy our tickets. We're gonna go and we're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this game, and we're gonna have lots and lots of fun watching it. But don't worry, we're gonna be doing Dawah too. And yeah, we know it's in a Muslim country. We know that there are mosques everywhere. We know that there's a call to prayer happening whenever there's time to pray. We know that everyone's in hijab, and you know, we know this is a Muslim country. But if you pay for our tickets, we're gonna do Dawah, and we're gonna take pictures with Zakir Naik too.
From 6 years ago.
From 6 years ago.
What do you think? Like, I know, I can like understand how they think it is important so that they get the connections, and then especially Dawah gangs who live in western part of the world, so they get like financial income stuff. But why do you think someone who is publicly involved in calling people to Islam, like no one is asking, for example, like no one is asking them to show your videos that you are converting people, or um, put a update video, like no one asked Zakir Naik to put a video up, or that person to put a video up. So what do you think the reason or source of this, like why would at the first place Muslims want to kind of give the impression that uh, people are becoming Muslim?
It's for the same reason they do it here, sister. For money and a career, and saying, look, I'm doing dawah, support me. If you go to any of their big channels, it's massive. Oh, you'll give me that much and we'll build a mosque, give me that much and we'll go out, give us this much and we'll do this. And they're doing the same thing now. They're going to Qatar. My personal opinion is the very rich Arabs in Qatar, and people coming to World Cup, the whole of the world's attention is on that country. So it's a big PR opportunity for them. The whole thing has been a massive PR campaign for Islam and for these Dawah gangists to boost their profile and boost their careers. Look how much work we're doing. Everybody's like, mashallah, look, they came to the World Cup not for football, but for Islam, mashallah. Let's support. That's what they're doing.
They're so pious, right? Like they're so
Right.
pious. No,
They don't care about the football. They're using it as an opportunity to preach. How great.
Yeah.
But they're
Such a
deceiving
lie.
them, though. They're
Such a lie.
deceiving you out of your money by using old videos. And
Yes.
from 6 years ago, pretending it's now. When
Which means
that old video, I would still question that one too, because it's probably for the same reason. It's the same thing they're doing over and over again.
yeah, it means the dawah is very bad. It means it's very, very bad, and they have to lie about it. So yeah, this is a big problem. This is a big problem. It should be a big like red flag for all the supporters of these dawah. I was almost going to quote one of our brothers, dawah something, but I won't quote him. But yeah, it's it's like a big red flag when this stuff is happening. Like why would you go to a Muslim country to do dawah? Why would you go? I mean, and then at the World Cup as well. Okay,
Yeah.
if the dawah is going so well, like they claim it is, why are they using fake videos? Why don't we see any of the real videos that aren't going? None of them have gone viral yet. The only things that have gone viral are the fake ones, from 6 years ago.
Yep. Zakir Naik charged with money laundering 21 million and hate speech. Have we forgotten? No, I haven't forgotten. And he had to run away to Malaysia to run from the law too. These people are, I don't want to say anymore, but we know that it's they're the reason behind what they do. It's for the good old cash. Got Abbas here saying, you people are funny for sure, listening to your rants like a butcher giving lecture on the benefits of being a vegan. Abbas, if you had any dignity, you would have condemned your brothers for lying, but you haven't.
Maybe he did.
No, he didn't.
Maybe he sent them open email, or he put up a video saying dignity for Dawah gangs. Have little bit dignity, and then telling them to pull themselves together and then have a better representation of Islam. We don't know. Maybe he did it, sister. Because he talks about those things a lot, even though I'm still waiting the name of the two people of Surah 9. But
yeah, we rant because we care about the truth. We hate lies. Where's your rant against these lies? Okay, go on.
Okay, so we have Zakir Naik. How people are how people are deceiving people by saying, oh, people are converting, blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Muslims or people are setting up fake accounts and then saying, oh, welcome Islam, I just become a Muslim. And then on the other hand, we've got, regarding the Qatar, for example, we've got people who lost their life to just build those stadiums. Why? Because Arabs are so like awesome, they can't do their very basics. So modern day slavery and human trafficking was taking part. I think over 500 people like just died. So like they're just like doing entertainment on the blood of other blood of people. Also, I am very much aware on the other side of other side of the Dawah gangs. You've got people who are trying to become famous by again using the deception of, well, I got hurt, I got stabbed, and then setting up ketchup businesses or all those kind of things. What's happening in that side?
Who do you mean, sister?
Well,
I can remind
I
you.
don't think you need to be Einstein to ask me that question, sister. So let's see our options. I'm talking about someone who in the past lied that he's getting death threats. I'm talking about someone who got stopped and then who said, person who stopped me in the prison, he was planning to go and visit that person, and then people are just challenging his testimony because police as well as other organizations cannot provide anything. um, who might that person be? Let me think. Yeah, that's the guy.
His
Uthman bin.
name starts with yours. His name starts with Uthman and ends with Fibin. So this is sister. It's a couple of his brothers who apparently he deceived them too.
So,
Uh,
what do you mean? Why?
uh,
Why? I just don't understand. How can Dawah gangs names takes place with another word called deception? They just don't go together. Not at
well,
all.
he deceived so much that he started deceiving his own brothers. These are some Deobandi Muslim brothers of Uthman in the UK, and he made a promise to them, a covenant with them, that he will not attack them, attack their sect, and then he went and attacked their sect. So
Okay. Pull back a little bit. Give us like um, first like what was happening, what happened, and then come to this point. Give us a little bit background, sister.
So he was he did videos that attacked that attacked other sects of Islam.
Okay.
He seems to be a Salafi, even though he doesn't like to go into it. And in a video, he was attacking them. So they came out and did some lots of videos. If you go to their channel, you'll see lots of videos about Uthman, about a lot of mistakes he does in the Arabic recitation, which are very shameful. I've seen some of these examples, extremely shameful. Even children that go to Quran schools don't make those Arabic mistakes.
I remember in the past you did express that his Arabic was very bad.
Extremely bad. Extremely bad. We're talking less than beginner level, to quote those people, not me, to quote his brothers. So they came out with 100 Arabic mistakes that he made, and they had more to come. So he got scared. According to their story, he came to them, facilitated by none other than Farid himself, the leaking guy. He got them together and say, let's sort it.
Can you remind us why do you call that guy linking guy?
Yeah, because he leaked the holes in the narrative email by Yasser Qadi when he also tried to mediate, but always fails because ends up making things worse for Islam. So Uthman, being the deceiver that he is, deceived his own brothers, saying, I'm not going to bring it up, not going to talk about your sect, the Deobandi sect. In exchange, please don't make, they promise not to make any more of his mistake videos, any more exposure of his mistakes and failings. But he broke the covenant. He broke that promise even to his own brothers. And so This is where they did a big, massive video, basically complaining about it, saying he's a liar and deceived them and everything. And here they talk about the so-called stabbing system.
Okay,
You want to hear it?
I remember we talked about stabbing in the past, where people were saying it looks like after he got stabbed, he was walking on his hands. Is that one?
Yeah. So Uthman was apparently stabbed, which we have proven that it was staged because of the fake blood that David Wood looked through. It looked fake. There was no record in any police station, any county court case, anything. There was no record of anything. And he was exposed by a journalist who looked into it and contacted the authorities in San Diego and couldn't find anything. And his brothers obviously know about this. So this is the stabbing that they're talking about. Would you like to hear it, sister?
Yes, I love to hear. So we are hearing from Muslims, by the way. Muslims are talking about their Muslim brother.
As you can see here, Al-Islam Productions, right?
Okay.
And that's from 2 days ago.
Okay.
Because you've been walking around on the streets of America a few times, yeah. I don't know if you really stopped or what. If you were, may Allah give you the best of shifa. And if you want and you stage that, then whatever, Allah knows best.
Do you hear that?
They said, like, if you stage that, Allah knows best.
Let me play it one more time. They're talking about Uthman ibn Farooq here in the title.
The debate with him. Just because you've been walking around on the streets of America a few times, yeah. I don't know if you really stopped or what. If you were, may Allah give you the best of shifa. And if you want and you stage that, then whatever, Allah knows best.
I don't know if you really were stabbed or not, but if you stage that, Allah knows best. Any questions?
Well, I don't know what to say. So this is like the Muslim brothers who was going to bed before, but now they are not going to bed together now. So now they are questioning, like, even if he stabbed or not, Allah knows. Whatever it is, Allah knows best. Why? Before I ask Jai to make his comments, I just wanted to remind. So it's call-in night. If any Muslim wants to call in and then make their dawah and then tell us what is Islam all about, we love to hear that. So please use the link in the chat to do so. Brother Jai, so Daughter of Christ is sharing this video. Muslims are apparently have some concern. I don't know.
Yeah, what I wanted to share before to refresh people's memories on this incident was that he used this when he was getting called out. He used this dawah deception to deflect from this topic. So when he was called out on it, and when it was made public that the San Diego Police Department had no records of the stabbing, no records at all of anything related to this, what he did in that video was just pure dawah deception. His response to that was, I have the evidence, but I'm not going to show anybody. I don't need to show anybody. I'm going to make a documentary, and you can wait for the documentary. But this is all an attack on me because the dawah is so great. The dawah is so amazing. So it's like just like Zakir Naik, like look at the dawah. Then when you examine the dawah, you're posting videos from 2016 that are probably fake videos. So yeah, it's all dawah deception. It's all related. And these guys are just as much as deceivers as Uthman is, but they're exposing him, and his own is exposing him again and again.
So do you think Islam gives right to deceive people? Like they are just a bunch of people.
Of course it does.
Trying to be famous, or they are practicing something Islamic.
Yeah, of course it does. And in this very video, they asked the question about whether or not he's practicing taqiyya. They ask him that, and they they ask Uthman if he's practicing taqiyya. So yeah, it's a teaching in Islam. You are allowed to lie, you are allowed to fabricate, you are allowed to say things that aren't true. I'm just trying to get the exact time for that. I think I wrote it down, but if I can find it, I'll let you know. But anyway, they asked him the question if he's practicing, if he's lying or not.
They're not
Okay.
any better. They're not any better, sister, because they were happy to stay quiet as long as he had the covenant, the promise with them, the agreement with them. They were happy to be on the side of their brother, as long as he kept his side of the deal, the devil deal that they have between each other. Because he broke it, because Uthman lies as like he breathes, he broke it. Now they're exposing it. Like they know, Muslims know what's up. They know that he faked this, staged it.
So
But
you mean in the past they were good friends in the condition that we don't kind of go after each other,
right.
and then one person decides, and then in that stage, like they know who is lying, who is not lying. They know each other's like dirty laundry.
I just want to. I
Sorry.
just want to. Okay, can I go? Or I just want to say real quick. I just want to say that what these guys have done, they've created a deal with him, but in doing that, they recorded the conversation, so they knew they couldn't trust him. So they knew prior to getting into the conversation that they couldn't trust this guy. So this whole deal was built on like distrust anyway.
Yeah. But like I say, if they had any dignity, they know this guy staged his attack. They know he lies. They should have said, no, we don't do deals with liars. But they were happy to do a deal with someone they know lied. When he broke the deal, then they came out, oh, you're a liar. We know you staged your attack.
Exactly. Now all of a sudden it comes out like they didn't know before.
Yeah. That's why, like, for me as a Christian, I don't care if someone calls themselves a Christian or not. I have my standards come from the Bible. If I know someone lies, no way will I make a backhand deal with them.
Exactly.
No way would I
If
come
you
come
suspect
and
that they're
say,
gonna lie, and you
right.
like you're, I mean, imagine he went from one of their brothers in Dawah to now he's a miserable loser. That's what they said. They called him that, not me. They called him a miserable loser. So,
Right.
yeah.
What does that even means? Miserable loser.
Do you want to hear it, sister?
Yeah, I can give you the time if you want.
I think
Yeah. Can we hear a little bit of it? It
Yes,
just like it just makes you kind of hear what they are saying.
What? Yeah, 1 hour 21 minutes roughly, and like around like what, you can just go to like 1 hour 21 minutes.
1 hour 21 minutes. Okay.
And you'll see that they're calling him a miserable loser.
Yeah, the sect. Are you gonna blame the rest of the students? No. You've got this aqidah. No. You've shunned those. You've publicly announced, got nothing to do with us. Yeah. So, brother Uthman bin Farooq, you are a miserable loser. You're a liar. I'm sorry I have to say this. You can say what you want. These guys are sectarian. They've got
And a liar.
What do you want me to say about a guy like this that lies? You're a liar. End of.
A miserable loser and a liar.
Let's hear it one more time. Let's hear it one more time for people who didn't hear in the back.
To do with us. Yeah. So, brother Uthman bin Farooq, you are a miserable loser. You're a liar. I'm sorry I have to say this. You can say what you want. These guys are sectarian. They've got. But what do you want me to say about a guy like this that lies? You're a liar. End of.
So, Ibn Majah 320 2544. Muhammad said, whoever covers the sin of a Muslim, Allah will cover his sin in this world and hereafter. Ibn Majah 320 2546. The Prophet said, whoever exposes the fault of his Muslim brother, Allah will expose his faults until so that he shames him due to it in his own house.
And you know what's funny? He referenced that because that's what they said Uthman did to Daniel Hakikachu, or whatever his name is. They were referencing that to that incident. So for those of you who don't know, there's a rift between Uthman ibn Farooq and his gang of Muslim missionaries, and then Daniel Hakikachu, because he there's like fractions of, there's the Salafis and then there's the Deobandis, and he kind of like learns from both sides. And because there was some apparently confusion upon whether or not he affirms what Deobandis affirm, which they have these distinctions, they called him out on a public conference. And these guys this is what this whole thing is about, actually, about this drama between Uthman and Daniel Hakikachu. So that's where this stems from. So they know that reference, but then they go on to do it themselves. I mean, it doesn't really bother us at all, because these are this is a false prophet anyway. It's false words, so it doesn't mean anything. But it just shows they're not even consistent with what they're even calling Uthman out on.
Yeah, I think also you expect like people to, I know even like it is not in their teaching stuff, but you expect people to be, I don't know, honest as much as they can, especially now like they're involved inviting people into Islam. So you would expect little bit higher degree, but it seems no, that's not happening at all.
Yeah. So very funny. These guys expose themselves, they expose each other. Just shows you the level that these Dawah missionaries are at. They're such a low level. Yeah.
So apparently Islam is perfect, but Muslims are not perfect, so therefore it's okay. So it's okay to lie.
Where's the condemnation?
Well,
You're gonna condemn?
if they expose each other's fault, Allah is going to expose them. So they can't. They have to cover each other's fault.
Yeah.
Therefore, like previously, you asked, like provide some things that you stay up, you stood up and then said whatever you are doing is wrong, dear my dear Muslim brother. Like, did you write to the people to say, well, the way you are selling Islam is wrong. The way you are buying people's soul is wrong. The way we are deceiving people at Speaker's Corner is wrong. Have you done that, Mr. Muslim?
Do you know how many Christians came out and denounced Ravi Zacharias by name for his sin? Did you, Abbas, denounce your brothers by name for their sin, for their lies? Uthman ibn Farooq and Zakir Naik for pretending to be bringing people to Islam now when it's from 6 years ago? And for a fake stabbing and stage stabbing? Did you denounce these people by name?
I guess like it is not what people do. We are just also making a case. While people are doing this, in Islam, it is acceptable. That's the point. We just read a couple of hadith. We just expressed the essence of Allah, character of Allah, as well as everyone is turning blind eye to those lies. Simply shows us there is a place for this in Islam.
You want to see? Do you want to see for everyone that Islam tells people to pay people to bring them to Islam? Surah
Yes.
9, verse 60.
Yeah, let's share that. You have that, or I could? Okay.
I've got it, sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zakat expenditures are only for the poor and the needy and those who are employed to collect it, for bringing hearts together for Islam. How are you gonna use money to bring hearts?
Well, if I give you 20 pounds, can
Yes.
you love me?
Yes, sister, I love you more.
If
No.
I give you 20 pounds, can you come to mosque with me?
Yeah, I'll do it for free.
Even we are just sharing the example of like how money brings the hearts together. If I give you 20 pounds, can you set up YouTube account and then say, once upon a time I was Christian, went to church, Christmas, Easter, and wedding and funerals. Now I am Muslim.
People do.
Set up YouTube channel and then join our club.
People do.
Or I'll just give you free wine while you are here. Can you just repeat after me while we are on the camera? Oh, let me give you a hug and then smile into the camera. It will be fine. Lots of those people don't even know what they are reciting.
Did Muhammad, brother and sister, did Muhammad pay people money?
Yes, he did actually. Let me find that reference. He did pay.
Yeah.
Both-
If we
Sorry.
if you go to Ibn Kathir on this, it gives you a name of a person that Muhammad specifically gave money to. This person was a pagan during one of the battles that Muhammad had, and so he was a pagan he was an unbeliever, a pagan during this battle, but Muhammad gave him the spoils from this battle so that he would embrace Islam. This is Ibn Kathir mentions this.
I
That's
don't want to be selfish, but I think Muhammad did wrong judgment by paying too much money. Those spoils are too much. He could buy a little bit cheaper.
He's saying like is this a story here?
So there's a whole chapter. What's the chapter called? Giving to those whose hearts have been inclined towards Islam. What did Muhammad do here? The Messenger of Allah conquered Hunain. He distributed the booty and he bestowed upon those whose hearts it was intended to win. So he raided the place, gave them some of the booty, the spoils of war, to who? Whose heart is intended to win.
Well, I am poor. I don't know what to do.
Sahih.
Just become a Muslim. We will fix it.
Sahih Muslim for people. Oh, we only like Sahih. Abbas. Sahih. Your prophet gave the booty from the war because that's all he did. War, fight, money, gave it to people to become Muslim, took those Muslims for more war, booty, money, more Muslims, army, booty, money, fight, money. It's a thug. Go on, sister.
Beloved, can you read that again so that we understand why those booties are given? Why?
Yeah. Let's see. Abdullah ibn Zayd reported that when the Messenger of Allah conquered Hunain, he conquered. Yeah. It wasn't self-defense. Yeah. He distributed the booty and he bestowed upon those whose hearts it was intended to win.
Okay, so I need to imagine this, okay? You are just gonna take over a land and country and then get rid of their people. There are some people are alive. They don't want to become Muslim. What you do is like, well, I've got this much camel, this much horses, this much gold from these people who I just killed. It's their leftovers. They can't take this to the grave. I've got them. They give it to me before I kill them. Even though I torture to take their money, but like they give it to me. They don't have any other option. Would you like me to give it to you? I'll give it to you if you only start loving Islam. Let's make it love at the first sight.
Which shows you how weak his message is. If his message, his words were words of God, You don't need to give people material things to win their hearts. My heart was won by the words of Jesus Christ. He didn't give me money. Did Jesus Christ ever give people money to follow him?
Jesus Christ gave himself for people.
He used to say, he told the rich young ruler to go sell everything and come follow me. People lost to follow God. People gave up everything for God to follow Jesus. He said, let the dead bury the dead and come follow me. Not, I'll give you money and follow me. That shows that you don't have a strong enough message to win anybody's heart. You have to give them booty money.
And that is also something happens in Africa.
Yeah.
Muslim missionaries travel there, and then they build a well where people of the tribe tries to come and then like get water, or they build mosque where it's well is in it. So you only way you get water is, well, you've got to pray first. You've got to do these exercises, or you just repeat after me. So if you want to get the water, all you need to do is become a Muslim. And lots of people, sake of the water, they do it.
Yeah, if you
Or
don't
in
have
different part of the world, it's like rice. People say, yeah, I'll say whatever you want me to say, so you give me rice.
Yeah, people want to feed their families. They want money. They want food. If it's that cheap, if it's their religion is that cheap, if you're going to give me some water and a bag of rice, yeah, I'll come follow your religion. That's Islam. You sell your soul to the devil for a bag of rice and some water.
Yeah, Muhammad begged people to follow him. He paid them money to follow him. I mean, if we could do a whole stream on this, contrasting Jesus and Muhammad in terms of Muhammad's just desperate need to get people to follow him, whereas Jesus said, if you don't accept the truth, if you don't accept what he's saying, then you're not worthy to be his. Like if you don't accept him, if you don't love him more than your own parents, your own siblings, your own children, if you don't love him more than your family, then you're not worthy to be his disciple. Muhammad, though, and can I share my screen? I just wanted to show a reference here from Ibn Kathir, and you have this is the instance that I was referring to, the same hadith that our sister, daughter of Christ, was just referring to. The specific person, Safwan bin Umayyah, it says, here's the reference here: verily alms are not allowed for Muhammad nor the relatives of Muhammad, for it is only the dirt that people discarded. And okay, so here's the part here: there are those who are given alms to embrace Islam. For instance, the Prophet of Allah gave something to Safwan bin Umayyah from the war spoils of Hunayn, even though he attended it while a mushrik. So he's still a polytheist at this war. Safwan said, he kept giving me until he became the dearest person to me, after he had been the most hated person to me. Imam Ahmad recorded that Safwan bin Umayyah said, the Messenger of Allah gave me from the spoils of Hunayn while he was the most hateful person to me. He kept giving me until he became the most beloved to me. So this is Ibn Kathir on chapter 9, verse 60.
So when they say love changes and transforms people, in here money does change and transform people. So we just
this guy's a pagan.
Yeah.
A pagan.
Yeah.
Muhammad keeps giving him, and then okay, I guess I'll become Muslim now.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, we've got someone on the line.
I just want to say real quick, Jesus, he said he knew the people who were following him, who were just after miracles and just after the food. He knew that there were some people that were not true disciples, that they were just after him because of these benefits, that like, you know, because he would perform miracles and feed people, and we perform miracles and heal people. He knew that there are some people following him just for that purpose, and he called on his followers. He called them to follow him in truth, and for not for just the purposes of just like to eat or for whatever. Muhammad would give people this food. He'd give people and Muhammad couldn't do any miracles. He had no miracles. The Quran says he couldn't do any miracles. And so Muhammad, forget the fact, forget that. But Muhammad, he would use things to bribe people to bring them into Islam. He would pay for them to become Muslims. This
I'll
is
see,
yeah.
I'll see that as a miracle, brother. That's the
That's
miracle of
it. Just
money
shows you
buys.
the sickness of the human, the depravity of humans, because people without God, without the heart that a new heart that God gives us, we're just after evil. We're just after our fleshly desires. So if someone gives money, if someone does, offers you to become corrupt or whatever, without God, this could happen. So Muhammad is going after godless people who are pagans. According to him, they're pagans, and he's bribing them, giving them money so that they can become Muslims. And then give enough money, and now you're going to become a Muslim. I see we have another reference on the screen here.
Yeah, for lies in the chat, Dawah deceptors who are saying, oh, they was given to Muslims. That whole chapter, what has been related about giving to those whose hearts are inclined toward Islam?
They're not Muslims.
Yeah,
So.
he
They're
was a
not Muslim.
mushrik. He was a mushrik. This is what Ibn Kathir even says.
Yeah, and this is a Sahih hadith that relates to your story, brother. Sahih.
Exactly.
And there you go, Safwan
Yeah,
ibn
Safwan
Umayya.
ibn Umayya, yeah.
He was the most hated creature to me. Was he a Muslim then, if he was the most hated creature to the Messenger?
But he became Muslim after getting all that booty, sister.
He did not stop giving to me until he was so he was hated, gave me some money, become the most loved. In the chapter of giving to those whose hearts are inclined towards Islam. There's your sahih. Drink that sahih.
We've been having a couple of conversations for a while now. I feel like you like being friend with Muslims because Islam is like so. Muslims are so generous. I can see as you pass by this glass mosque, you want to look inside and then observe the exercise Muslims are doing. Let me give you only $1,000, only £1,000, so that you become my good friend. Oh, if you meet with me, I'll give you another £1,000. Then you will become Muslim. That's how it is work.
Dirty deals, dirty deals.
Muslims are still practicing this to this day. They're still practicing this.
Yes, Surah 9, verse 60. Zakah money.
Well, it can't be abrogated. It's in the eternal word of Allah. Okay, let's just take the caller in. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, who are you?
Just call me Sana. I have a question.
Okay, are you Muslim? Are you Christian?
Let me just say I'm a free thinker, basically.
I don't know what does that mean. So my question was, are you Muslim or are you Christian?
I'm neither of them.
You're neither of them. Can you tell? It seems you think that's very funny. Can you tell me Muhammad is false prophet?
Okay. Basically, I don't support either of them because based on the personality.
Sir.
I'm
If
saying
your intention to call in to show us how to do deception, that's a good plan. I strongly stand up next to your plan, okay? But for us to move forward healthier, for you to show us that you are good at practicing deception, dear Mr. Freetinga, can you be kind enough and then tell us that Muhammad is false prophet, and then we take it from there?
my intention of calling was to ask a question regarding the religion. Hello?
Can you say that Muhammad is a false prophet? If you're not a Muslim, that shouldn't be a problem to you. But if you're lying, it should be a problem. So say it and we can move on.
No. Okay, I'm not a Muslim. And basically it appears
we're not asking you if you're saying I'm not a Muslim. Can you say Muhammad is not a prophet of God?
Yeah.
Okay, can you please say it?
Yeah, he's not.
He's not what?
He's not a prophet.
Of what?
Yeah, so we want you to like
of the one true creator.
Yeah, can you say it in a whole sentence without stopping?
I'm saying.
Yes.
Hello?
Muhammad.
Why are you hesitating? Say it.
Hello?
Now
the connection is bad.
Gabriel is squeezing him now. Okay.
Connection is bad. How convenient.
Well, it seems his connection is okay. Yes, sir. Once you express that Muhammad is not the prophet of God or Muhammad is a false prophet, we take it from there, and then we hear your comments on how to buy people according to Islam, as well as we get to hear your question and the reason you called in. So for us to move forward, can you do something useful for us? You don't want to be useful?
Maybe he saw Dawah deception. He thought, okay, this is perfect for me.
Yeah.
I did say, like, if he wants to show us how to show, if he wants to show how to deceive people, that's okay. We are just like here to kind of watch that and observe how it works.
Maybe he thought we needed to see like in real time what it looks like.
Guys, please hold something which is very close to you. Put your hands on the table or something which is very close to you. We will all stand and then say Janazah prayer for Ibn Qatar. And also we will do that for the Sahih Hadith, because they are all under the bus and they are all dying now. Mr. Muslim, why don't you just call in and then make your case with all those lies and then explain to us how those Sahih Hadiths are lying?
So just as I see our sister, daughter of Christ, put the reference on the screen again, I just wanted to just contrast this with John chapter 6. Listen to what Jesus said. Listen to what our Lord Jesus says here. Jesus answered them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, you are seeking me, not because you saw signs, but because you ate your fill of the loaves. Do not work for the food that perishes, but for the food that endures to eternal life, which the Son of Man will give to you. For on him God the Father has set his seal." So the seal is not on Muhammad. Muhammad is not the seal of anything. It's on Jesus. But Jesus also knew that there are certain people that were following him just to be fed, just to, the loaves, and, he performed all these amazing, beautiful miracles to feed all these thousands of people. And Jesus knew that these people were not really coming after him because they saw the signs and they really believed. Contrast that to Muhammad. Muhammad literally bribed people. He bribed people with these things, these very things, the food that perishes. Muhammad bribed people with the food that perishes to follow him. Please follow me, please follow me. And he gives them this food and gives them all these things.
No, Jai, no. He
No?
doesn't say please. He doesn't use the word please. Please don't add into it. It goes without please.
According to Abbas, they were Muslim, but their level of Iman wasn't at that level yet. So when someone's Muslim, he says the most hated creature to me is the Prophet. When you become Muslim, is that something you would say? Wow. On the day of Hunayn, he was the most hated creature to me. Does that sound like a Muslim to you? Do you think we're stupid? The whole chapter is called "Giving to those whose hearts are inclined towards Islam," not those who are Muslim, but their Iman, their faith is not high enough yet.
It doesn't say like they just become a Muslim yesterday and then set up YouTube account today to defend Islam. It is not talking about that. Regarding that, you've got the example of Andrew Tate, where Safia Ali made a video of talking about it, and then after that, you've got a picture of him half naked. It's like talking about Islam. So that would be like someone who hasn't grown in Iman yet.
Apparently they became Muslim, but their hearts still hated Muhammad to the utmost.
Yeah.
After they said, I bear witness that Muhammad is the prophet of God, then their hearts still hated him. They needed money, a lot of it. Wow, what a religion. What a religion.
That is the miracle of Islam.
Yeah, because what made them the most loved creature is not his teachings is not how he acts, it's the money.
Money, money,
Money,
money.
money talks.
Yeah, money talks. Money buys people. Money does lots of things.
What a shame.
Money does lots of things. All you need to do is just like give them money and then you let them to enter into Islam.
I
Okay.
just want to show the reference real quickly. I just want to show the reference real quickly, just in Arabic, for those who might want to see it in Arabic. It says the same thing that we read earlier, but it's just same exact thing, but just the Arabic reference, that he witnessed Hunayn as a mushrik. He was a polytheist. So there's no getting around it. And then Ibn Kathir is not just quoting himself there; he's quoting also Imam Ahmad as well.
Yeah.
And anyway, we have it in English as well. I just wanted to share it for anyone in the audience who reads Arabic, and you can see it very clearly on the screen. So
It's the same name, Safwan ibn Umayyah.
yeah.
So if some of your Muslim commentators were making up somebody, they gave him a name and they said he was a mushrik. They said he was a polytheist at Hunayn. And the Sahih Hadith is saying it's the same name, polytheist at Hunayn, who Muhammad was the most hated person to him, kept giving him money from the booty. It wasn't even his own money, money that he stole from Hunayn, so that he can come to Islam.
Right here.
Amazing story.
Yeah.
It really
Okay,
is that out there, which you can't.
Yeah, this might be a good opportunity because we got Mr. Muslim on the line. Hopefully he will able to explain to us what is happening. Can we make sure that story is on the screen and then we take Mr. Muslim in? Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you, sir. Can you tell us who are you?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm a Muslim, alhamdulillah.
Okay, Mr. Muslim, can you be kind enough and then tell us how much does it cost to deceive people and then buy their soul into Islam?
I wouldn't know that. I never deceive anyone, or not that I remember of.
Oh,
if
you
I
don't?
had, I
if you did it, you don't
repented
remember.
from that. I repented from that, whatever I had deceived anybody before. But I don't remember in the recent times. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so we showed video clip of Zakir Naik's video where Muslims are expressing this is taking place in the World Cup, which is lie. What are the practical things you've done so far to call Muslims and Dawah gangs into honesty?
What I did was, the thing is that until I, as a Muslim, until I find out it is truth, I confirm if it's true, then I spread it. So I didn't tell anybody else that I saw the video.
Let me ask my
You asked me
question
what
again.
I did.
Let me ask my question again. What have you done regarding the lies Muslims are putting on social media regarding how successful their dawah is buying the souls of the people? What are the practical things you've done to reach out Zakir Naik and his crew, as well as Dr. Coco or someone, whatever that was?
Yeah, I'm just telling you right now. I watched that video about the 4 people became Muslim, and I just saw it. I say, is it true or is it made up thing or is it old thing? I asked this question myself as well. So what happened? To me, it doesn't make much difference. I neither spread to anyone. I neither rejected it because it doesn't bother me. If they did or not did, doesn't make much difference to me, to be honest. So I just didn't. It doesn't concern me too much. Now you're saying it's a lie, and if it's a lie, it's wrong. Whoever did it. But can we blame Zakir Naik for that? Because somebody using his video.
You express it doesn't bother you that much. Brother Jai, does it
doesn't
bother
make much
you?
difference in my life, to be honest.
Abbas, just a moment. Brother Jai, does it bother you, or does it should it bother Muslims? And what are your questions on regarding buying people into Islam, Brother Jai?
Yeah, buying people into Islam, lying about people converting to Islam, lying in general for the sake of your religion. These are things that people naturally find to be wrong. They naturally find these things to be bad, but because they've embraced Islam, because they get deep into it and they become callous, that's when they don't have any issues with it. So God created us in his image. We bear his image, and naturally we know, instinctively we know that these things are wrong. But when you become so callous and so hardened and false religion, and when lies and evils of it are shown to you, and you just embrace it more and more and more, then you're just, you know, becoming callous and hardened heart, and that's when it has no effect on you.
Can I answer?
It's like imagine like a smoke detector with no batteries in it. It's useless. This is your conscience on Islam. The more you learn, the more you learn, it should take you out. But when it has no effect, the batteries are just broken on the smoke detector.
Okay, can I answer? I'll give him a trophy of his speech after. I mean, what a nonsense.
You don't give trophies here. I'm not interested in interacting. I'm not interested in interacting with you either. I was answering Cartoon's question. Yeah, I was answering Cartoon's question. I'm not interested in interacting with a troll. So
you're talking about my religion. You're talking about my religion. Okay, now listen and learn.
You don't say listen and learn and give trophies.
Oh,
this is not your masjid.
You will learn. Trust me.
No.
You will learn.
No, you have a lot to learn. You have a lot to learn. You don't even know that stuff. Well, you keep addressing me. If you keep addressing me, saying these things, I'm going to respond to you.
I don't talk to hateful people. Those who Islamophobes, I don't talk to them. Even though I think there are a lot of Islamophobes here, but you are the worst.
Let me just jump in. Abbas, be careful with the language you are using, putting our lives in danger. So thank you very much taking part in that.
Don't you hate Islam?
Let's jump into the story. What caused Muhammad to buy people's souls? So Brother Jai and Daughter of Christ shared some of the Islamic sources. Can you just unpack that for us?
Yeah, okay. Whatever been said on your show, I have to refute that if I find something wrong. Whatever your guest is trying to say. One second. I'm going to answer. I'm going to refute every lie, inshallah. So whatever is Muslim does, it has nothing to do with Islam. Muslims do a lot of wrong things. They are human beings. They are people. Christians do a lot of wrong things. Hindus do a lot of wrong things. So Islam cannot be blamed for that. So if somebody lie, if somebody's going too far in their lies, it's nothing to do with Islam. Allah says, be truthful and be with those who speak truth. There are several verses in the Quran which talk about be on the side of truth. Wakul ja'al haq was haqal batil. Innal batila kana dahuka. What that means? Truth has come and falsehood perish. And the falsehood is bound to perish.
Let me understand why you are crying. So would you identify Muhammad?
Sorry, I think you have an ear problem.
As the representative
I didn't cry.
of Islam.
I was refuting
would
lies.
You identify Muhammad, your prophet, as the representative of Islam?
He's your prophet as well, but you're rejecting him. So he's not only
Muhammad is not my prophet. Muhammad can't even stand under my feet.
Okay,
so
okay. You are in denial.
Does Muhammad represent Islam? Because you said Islam is perfect.
Of course.
Does Muhammad goes in that perfect?
Of course, he is the ultimate of our teacher who teaches Islam. He is the ultimate follower of Islam. At least the last
just explain the hadith on the screen for us.
Yeah, what did it say is that the Messenger of Allah gave to me on the day of Hunain, and he was the most hated creature to me, but he did not stop giving to me until he was the most loved creature to me. Yes, okay. So you, by reading this, you think at that time he was a kafir or a mushrik. Now I'll tell you what happened in Hunain. Don't forget one thing. When Hunain happened, 10,000 Muslims went there. But Makkah, first they conquered Makkah. After Makkah, the Hunain took place. So all those 10,000 people, you don't find evidence that they were there for money or Muhammad buy every single one of them. They accepted Islam to see the beauty of Islam. That's why they were there to give their lives. Okay, now when Hunain happened...
Wake up from the soap opera. Look at the hadith and tell us about the hadith.
I was answering you. The thing is, what you're not understanding is the whole story behind it. How it happened to in this situation. What happened? You need to understand the background. I was just telling you background to understand. Muhammad didn't buy no one before that, neither after. What happened here is, now when Hunain took place, when conquest of Makkah took place, a lot of people still didn't like Muhammad, but they say on the I accept Islam just to be on the side of the victorious. So they all accepted Islam, but they still hated Muhammad because they lost the war, they lost their families, they lost their land. Now Muslims are taking over. So that's what this guy is saying. I still hated him, but on the face, he probably was a Muslim because he doesn't say he was not a Muslim. So as a Muslims, there are hypocrites and they hated until then he started loving him. The
Okay.
problem, it doesn't show that Muhammad Sallallahu gave money to non-Muslims. It doesn't say that. Where
Okay.
does it say?
Thought of Christ. What is the problem with the kind of dream we just heard?
I have lots of problems. So you're saying that people came to Islam, but their hearts were not in it. So it's they did a fake conversion, and the only way that Muhammad brought them to real Islam, to really love him, is to give money. That's a problem.
Yes, you are half right here, but the other thing is that the Muhammad Sallallahu knew that there were people who didn't think that Islam is the right thing for them, or they don't think that we Muslims will treat them rightly. So he say, okay, you are the new converts. See, I'm accepting you as a Muslim. I'm accepting you. You may be hating me. Take this more and see my sincerity and generosity. I still care for you. And this is how Muhammad Sallallahu saw the wisdom to bring them more into Islam. And these are the same people. I can't give you evidence right now, but I heard that they are the same people who, after the death of Muhammad Sallallahu, they defended that Hijaz, that area, when all the other Muslims went back to Medina. They are the one who helped sorry, which of the armies came to attack there in Makkah and near Hunain. So they are the one who gave their lives, and Muhammad Sallallahu foresee the future. These are the people who, when have proper iman, they're going to give lives for Islam, and that's what they did. I can't give you evidence right now, but I have read somewhere.
You can't give evidence for anything, because we showed you evidence that he was a mushrik, but you didn't accept it.
No, you didn't. You didn't give me no evidence that he was a mushrik.
Brother Jai, please show him on the screen.
He say at the time of Hunain he was a mushrik, but after Hunain, these things happening after Hunain when he's giving them money.
Okay, so you
so it's not the same thing.
Oh yeah, after money he became the most loved.
No. Listen to this carefully. That money distribution happened after Hunain.
What's the man's name? Abbas Safwan ibn Umayyah. Yeah, that's his name.
Right.
Safwan ibn Umayyah. Brother Jai, on the screen, show him who Safwan ibn Umayyah was on the day of Hunain.
Okay, right there. Can you see?
Can you read in the green?
First of all, what are you reading? I need to know your sources, because your sources are all over the place.
Yeah, you didn't. You said you didn't show. You can't show any evidence. We're showing you evidence, and you're already disputing.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That is not the question. The question is, you need to prove that he was non-Muslim at that time. You need to prove.
Yeah, but you can't prove he was Muslim.
Okay.
We showed you on the screen. He said Muhammad is the most hated to me. Does that sound like a Muslim to you?
Yeah. I'm saying that there were people who converted to Islam, but they were munafiq. They were still they didn't call kafir. They called munafiq. So munafiq did say they are Muslims, but their hearts were not there in Islam.
What does mushrik mean? For people who don't know, what does mushrik mean?
Mushrik and kafir mean the kafir man who rejected Islam, and mushrik mean the one who the polytheist.
Thank you. So here is on your screen in front of you in the blue.
Yeah, what is the source you're giving me? That's the point.
Brother Joy, tell him the source.
So this is a commentary. Yeah, this is a commentary, and Ibn Kathir is not like a mutawatir authentic Sahih Hadith. It can have mistakes in it.
Should we believe he named somebody though with his name? So should we believe Ibn Kathir, or should we believe you?
No, what name has to do with it? I want to see
his name, the man's name. So
I know.
Ibn Kathir, is Ibn Kathir closer to the time of Safwan ibn Umayyah, or are you closer?
I think Ibn Kathir was. What's
Ibn Kathir is hundreds of years closer to that time of Safwan ibn Umayyah, and he called him a mushrik. Who should we believe?
Right. So you are saying that Ibn Kathir cannot be wrong. He cannot be mistaken.
Okay, can you be wrong, or can Ibn Kathir be wrong? Out of the two, which one should I choose to be safe?
In this instant, I would say Ibn Kathir is wrong.
Thank you very much. Ibn Kathir said he's a mushrik. So he's a mushrik then, not a Muslim. Which Muhammad
but he's not quoting any kind of authentic hadith. What is he quoting?
Abbas, you just told me to believe Ibn Kathir over you. I'm trying to believe him.
I said believe me.
Don't do a dawah deception on me. You told me to believe him.
Did you hear me? I didn't say that. I say believe me. I am right. I say in this instant, I am right over Ibn Kathir. I said that.
No, you didn't. You said Ibn Kathir was right.
I did say that.
Over you.
Everybody heard me. Anyway, the point here is, unless you show me.
No, I'm not letting you off the hook. You said Ibn Kathir, not you.
I say me. Rewind it.
Sister and brother, what did he say? What did he say?
Be honest.
Just a second. For us,
why would we believe? this guy over Ibn Kathir anyway?
Yeah,
Who
why
is
would
he?
you
That's
leave
another
me?
point. That's fair enough. That's another point. But I did say that in this instant, I'm right, and Ibn Kathir is not right.
What's the evidence
Just
that
because
you're
he
right?
says, no, sister, this is it. Just because he says it, that means it. Like, I'm
Yeah,
right,
so
Ibn Kathir is
why
No,
should
wrong.
because
we
I'm saying
believe
that
you and not Ibn
my criteria is authentic hadith, mutawatir hadith, and the Quran. Commentaries are not my criteria.
So
Put
Ibn
your
Kathir
evidence
is
on the
right.
screen.
Commentaries can be right, can be wrong. That's what I'm saying.
So when commentaries are wrong,
So
we believe
please,
you.
so are you saying you do not have any authentic hadith at all that shows Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam give money to the kuffar to buy them? You have nothing.
Let me
Basically,
show
that's what you're saying. That's why
Okay.
you're going to Ibn Kathir.
No,
So-
we didn't. We showed you.
No, you did not show me anything. You showed me the hadith. It
What's
doesn't
this
say he was a
chapter?
kafir at that time. It doesn't say.
What does the chapter say?
He say he was the most
What is
hated
this
creature
chapter
to me.
saying? What is this chapter
Yeah,
on?
this guy is just an example of what's being said, that sometimes you give alms to people to make them Muslims. And this guy is just an example that someone that Muhammad used to give alms to make him embrace Islam. That was
No,
just
it
an
doesn't say that.
Yes, it does. Okay,
It
forget
doesn't
this
say
guy.
embrace Islam.
There's no
It
point.
doesn't say embrace Islam. You're adding your words into it.
Who's
It doesn't
this?
say that.
What is this?
Yeah, it's giving to those whose hearts are inclined.
Towards what?
No, hearts are inclined mean look, they are saying they are Muslim. Okay,
Yes.
are they fully into it? Are they fully have iman? There could be some of them they have
Where-
hatred
where
for
is
him,
this from
but
silence?
from their mouths they are
You're
saying they are
feeling it.
Muslim.
No,
And
you're feeling-
some people are, they say okay, we accept Islam, but they are not fully into it.
You
They are
said you
inclined
have
into
no
it.
evidence. You're feeling from silence. You're doing the argument from silence.
Does it say they're giving to those who are kafir? Does it say that?
Oh
So
my
you are adding your words into it. I'm saying there's no evidence we found that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave money
You know
to
what this word
kuffar.
means? You know what this word means? Can you read it?
Yeah.
What is it? What is it?
Mawallafati qulubihim.
Okay. What is al-mu'allafati qulubuhum?
Qulub is heart,
All right.
and I don't know what the other word means.
So you don't know. This is the term in
Yeah, I'm not claiming to know.
this is the term in the term in Islamic Sharia for mushriks and kafirs whose hearts have been inclined.
Oh, I don't believe you. Sorry, I don't believe you.
Are you saying that on record?
Yes.
That's
I'm
why.
saying
That's
on
why.
record, I don't believe the translation.
Is it my translation? Who's this?
No, but it doesn't
Who's
say that the
this?
kuffar.
Who is this? Sunnah.com.
Look,
Your
what do you
brother's translation translated it as
Mhm.
towards Islam, because al-mu'allafatu qulubuhum is an Islamic term for people who are not Muslim yet. Hence, they put in brackets towards Islam.
Okay, right. Okay, how
Right.
many?
Listen and learn. You said
How
you wanted
many?
to learn, you listen
How
and
many?
learn.
How many ahadith are in this chapter?
So this one is not
How
good
many-
enough for you?
No. What I'm saying that
It's not good enough for you?
we need to see all the
It's
other
not good enough
ahadith
for
are.
you? Is this Sahih Hadith not good
You
enough?
know, let me speak. You know, let me try. and
Yes
make
or
my
no?
point.
I have our best.
I'm
I'm
just,
not here.
I'm
I'm not here to
I'm
be.
just.
Stop flip flopping around like a trout on a riverbank.
Listen, your low blows doesn't make difference on me. I have a very
Sahih?
thick
What does
skin.
Sahih mean?
Trust me, I have a very thick skin. Trust me. Now
I
the
don't care
point
about
here
your
is
skin. Whose hearts are they inclined
point here
to?
is
Who?
point here is when you read the hadith says nothing about he was a mushrik or he was a kafir. It doesn't say that. He say he was the most hated creatures to me. Yeah, they were conquered. They lost their battle. They lost everything. They are not sure. They accepted Islam, but he still doesn't like him. Can that not be possible? So the hadith is not saying that. If headline is saying something, then this is again qiyas or ijtihad of a scholar. So we can always question that. But hadith is not saying nothing like that.
Okay, so can I just step in just a second? Abbas, can you just tell us about who is Safran bin Umayyah?
Looks like he is the person from the Hunan, people of Hunan.
Who
those
is
who
it?
were conquered.
What did he believe?
Obviously, they were pagans before when
They
they
were
attacked.
Okay.
That's why they
They were
attacked
pagans.
Muslims.
Okay.
Yes.
Put your reference on the screen or in the chat. Okay. When did he become a Muslim?
I have to look for it. Look, I just
Okay,
enter
just
your
look for it
I just enter your stream.
Okay, just look for it because Ibn Kathir kind of gives us some informations that he was going to he was attending it while he was still mushrik, okay? So
Right,
if you are discrediting him, that's absolutely fine, okay? If you are discrediting him, it is absolutely fine, but you can't just run away without references. Just put your references. We will give you time. Find the
Look,
reference.
that's a very valid
Put
point you
your
make.
reference. Abbas,
I
pull
I
yourself together.
appreciate that, and I respect the point you make. I will
I
look
want
into
you to.
that.
I
I
want
may
you
not
to.
be able to find in the next 5 minutes. I may
That's
not.
okay. That's okay. It's
But
been
the
like
thing
years
is,
I'm waiting reference from you. So I'm gonna mute
that's not
you.
true, by the
I will
way.
be muting you, and then we will give you that time for you to bring up some evidence to
Okay, give me 5
discredit
minutes.
Ibn Kathir. 5 minutes,
Yeah.
okay. So
Inshallah.
can you mute yourself?
I'll look. Yes, I will.
So it's 1 minute past clock, okay?
Sorry, can you give me the name again of the person? Sorry.
Oh, you couldn't
Safwan?
pick up. Beloved, can you put the reference on the screen again?
So he doesn't know the name of the person. He was so sure he was.
I never claimed that I know everybody. Come on, what's going on with you? I was
Safran
just
bin
questioning
Umayya.
that hadith. I was just questioning what your output of that hadith was. That's what I was questioning.
Abbas, focus.
Safwan ibn Umayyah, who everybody said was a mushrik, including Tabari
Safwan
and
ibn
Ibn Kathir.
Umayyah. And I say he was a Muslim mushrik as well before Hunan. I'm not denying that.
No, on the day of Hunayn, he was mushrik, according to Tabari and Ibn Kathir. We just found the Tabari reference.
And I'm saying when the booty was given, he probably was not mushrik at that time. He probably accepted Islam.
Oh, so that's what we're saying. So that's what we said.
Yeah, I agree that at the time of Hunan he was mushrik, but after Hunan finished, when the booty was given, maybe a day later, 2 days later, 3 days later, at that time he accepted Islam. That's what I'm saying.
When the booty was given, he accepted Islam. Thank you very much.
No, when they lost their battle, they probably accepted Islam, and then the money was divided among all. The losers and the winners, everybody got the money.
What a lovely religion it is. Losers and winners get money. Lovely religion you're in. Go on.
Yes, the booty was to spread. That's very wise. That's very just. That's very reasonable. Where the money? It's not like your God. It's not like David burning everything.
It's to recruit fighters for the next battle. Yeah, we know. That's why the booty.
I'll come back. I'll come back with the evidence, inshallah.
So Abbas have 5 minutes. Is 2 minutes past 10. So we will give him until 7 minutes past 10 to come up with the references. He is on the screen. So I'll take the next caller in until we get the kind of references from Abbas. Brother Jai or Daughter of Christ, would you like to just summarize what are your feelings as I believe we all went through how Dawah team do deception. If you just summarize your feelings, and then I'll take the next caller in.
Brother Jai?
Yeah, I mean, this is another example of Dawah deception.
Yeah.
You're just coming on the stream, not even knowing who you're debating about, not even knowing the names of the people, not knowing anything about their history, just clearly just making things up. And you're coming up here as a representative of Islam saying you're going to prove what we're saying is false. You're going to denounce what we're saying, but you don't have no idea who we're even talking about. Like this is the type of the deception, very good display of deception from the Islamic side.
Okay, beloved, any thoughts, any feelings right now?
He buried himself because I asked him directly who the mu'allafat qulubuhum is, those hearts were reconciled. It is actually a term in Muslim Sharia and fiqh. People who are mushriks, whose hearts are won by money. I do have these references in Arabic, but because he's not Arab, I don't know where to go with it.
Okay. How do you feel to seeing the examples of deception?
Pretty sad, because you could see the desperation. Oh, he wasn't. Oh, he was. Oh, maybe on the day he wasn't. Oh, he came to Islam, but not really in his heart, which shows you what a horrible, weak religion it is, that people pretend to come to Islam because Muhammad was a warlord. He conquered everything, so they're scared. So even that scenario, which didn't happen, by the way, but even if it did happen, it's just as ugly. What did happen was, yes, Muhammad went and conquered these people, and they had no choice but to follow him. Sometimes he bribed them with money, which we found in Safwan ibn Umayyah's case. which he did say this guy was the most hated to me because, like Abbas himself said, he conquered everything. So Muhammad bought their loyalty with money, like Abbas said, yes, so they can fight the next battle. And you know, if you're part of the thug group, if you're part of the gang, then obviously you're gonna divide the spoils 4 ways, 5 ways, however many ways, so that you can keep your thuggery going. And that's what Muhammad did. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Let me take the next caller in. Abbas, I'm gonna move you to back room. Once your 5 minutes is up, we will take you back in. Okay. Next caller. Hello.
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 How are you guys?
Sir, can you tell us who are you? Are you Muslim? Are you Christian?
I'm Mutad.
Can you tell us Muhammad is false prophet?
Muhammad is a false prophet and the prophet of Satan.
Are you Christian, sir? Why are you
Yes.
calling in?
I was just going to say that imagine a judge being bribed tens of billions of pounds just for letting this criminal go. We'd call him a dishonest judge, wouldn't we?
What is the point you are trying to make, sir?
No, the point I'm trying to make is if it was an honest judge, he would judge truthfully and honestly, and this is not what Muhammad did. Muhammad bribed people into his religion, which cannot be the religion of al-Haq.
Why do you think there is a problem to buying people into the religion?
Because it's not going to be sincere.
You don't think money buys everything, even the souls in its fullness?
No, that's going to condemn you to it. That's going to condemn you to in torture, eternal torture.
Okay, Brother Jai, have you got any comments or any questions?
I'm still looking into this other topic on the side, so I don't have anything else to say on this right now.
Okay, Daughter of Christ.
We got a Muslim helping Abbas out. Safwan ibn Umayyah was not Muslim, thank you very much, sir. But he participated with the Muslims and the Quraysh in the Battle of Hunain because it's a shame for the Arabs that a leader leaves his people alone. There you go. That should help you out a little bit, Abbas. You're muted, sister.
We can keep that on the screen for a bit until Abbas memorized the answer. Did you have any comments on what the caller said?
I agree with the caller. When it comes to matters of faith, believing in God, money shouldn't be in the equation. You shouldn't be swayed into staying in a religion or feeling better about the religion or wanting to be loyal to a religion because of money. Once money comes into the equation, you know it's a scam. God is above this. He's above this, above his dignity, to want to buy people's hearts with money. I don't know why Muslims can't see that. When Muhammad does it, they think it's generosity. It's like how they twist the words, how they twist the terms. Why should you be generous to someone to make them believe? They should want to believe because it's the truth, not because you're being generous to them. Like I said before, what if a devil worshipper is generous to you? You're going to be a devil worshipper? What if a Hindu is generous to you? What if an atheist is generous to you? What if anyone who believes in anything, you're going to follow them? That's not a basis for following anything, to be bribed with money.
You should also examine the evidence and
Right.
see if the religion is true or not, or lack of religion is true or not.
Right. Your heart shouldn't be swayed by money from a war booty. That's a thug. I don't know what to say.
It's not like even his own money. It's not like he worked for that money. It is like it was someone else's.
I thought Muhammad was poor.
Permission.
I thought Muhammad was poor.
Well, he didn't have a job. Did he have a job? What is Muhammad's job? What was his job? He lived for 40 years before Islam and afterwards. What was his job?
He worked for Khadija.
Yeah, after that, after he became a prophet, what was his job? After Khadija
Nothing.
died? Nothing. He didn't have a job.
He did have a job.
What is it? What was it?
His job was being husband to the many wives, being owner to many slaves, going to the wars, and then just like making sure your wives are washing your clothes. That's a hard work, sister.
Okay, God bless you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for calling in. Beloved, I can't believe you think Muhammad was jobless.
He didn't have a job. Jesus Christ was a carpenter. What was Muhammad? All he did was raid places.
No, he was a soul buyer.
All he did was raid places.
Can we have like job title called soul buyer?
His money was from his raids.
Yeah, he didn't even work for it.
Yeah, he had, and from recruiting people with money to fight his battles for him. And then he called them Muslims just as a way to unify everybody. That's it. That's it.
Okay. So Abbas's time is up. But what we will do is who put that on the screen? Joy.
Yeah, I put it on the screen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we just summarize Surah 9 verse 60 and then bring our arguments together again and then give platform to Abbas to come up with his justifications and explanations, because his 5 minutes is up already.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, brother. So can you just summarize what we have here?
Oh yeah. Well, this is a commentary on chapter 9 verse 60. So this is Ibn Abbas, and as do you want me to just read this or
yeah, if we kind of just remind what we are expecting Muslims to respond, and then we give platform to Abbas to come up with his answers.
So the verse is about giving alms to different groups of people, and one of these groups of people are the people whose hearts are ready to basically the ones who are like prepared coming to Islam basically, and so one of the ways that Muhammad used to get people into Islam was to give them money and to give them some sort of war booty or something like that. Muhammad would bribe them to come to Islam. And one of the examples of this is even mentioned by Ibn Abbas. He mentions this category here, and those who collect them, i.e. the collectors of alms, and those whose hearts are to be reconciled by giving them gifts, such as Abu Sufyan and his companions. So then he goes into there are 15 men, etc., etc. So we have many examples of people who came to Islam by the giving of gifts. So people would embrace Islam when they were giving gifts, and the instance that we gave, there's many people. Abu Sufyan is one. Safwan bin Umayyah. We have so many examples in the Hadith. I'm just going over them, and I'm surprised how many there are. There are many different examples of people that were given things. They were bribed to come to Islam. So this type of dawah deception is something that Muhammad himself practiced.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure like everyone got that. So giving the gifts in this occasion, it is not like you went to the airport to pick up your friend who you haven't seen.
It's not going to the poor. It's not giving it to the poor. It's not giving it to the need, because those are a different category. Actually, if we pull up the verse again, see, look at the categories. One of them is for the poor. One of them is for the needy. And then you have the ones then there's another group, there's another category for those who are going to basically embrace Islam. And it doesn't matter if they're poor or they're rich or anything like that. It doesn't matter if they're needy. What matters is if their hearts, Muhammad thinks he can bribe them. So if they have evil hearts that can be persuaded by bribery, whether they're poor, whether they're needy, whatever, you could give them like today the equivalent would be like write them a check and be like, how much money do you want to convert to Islam?
Or like in mafia circle, it will be you want someone to like sell your drugs. You say, okay, you are desperately in need of money, I will give you that money, so you sell those drugs. You just buy them to get the job done. Okay, so Abbas's 5 minutes is up. Actually, it's been like 13 minutes. Let's take him up, and then here is respond. Hello, sir.
Hello. Yeah. What I researched a little bit. Obviously, I need more to be sure about the research. But what I found so far is in the Sirah of Ibn Ishaq and Tabari, they mention about Safwan, and they mention that he was not a Muslim, but he fought with the Muslims against the people of Hunain and against the people of Taif. So let's say if we accept their story as well, then let me make my answer, please. I'm half wrong and you are half wrong as well. What I was half wrong, if we accept this story, that he was not a Muslim at the time he was given the money. Where you were half wrong was you didn't tell anyone that he actually fought with the Muslims against the kuffar. So what it makes sense, if Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave him the money, it's only fair, even if he's a Muslim or no Muslim, that if he fight with the Muslims, that he should have been given booty as well, which I didn't know that. I'm just saying that if we accept Ibn Ishaq and Tabari, I need to look more into that, and I have my own doubts about Ibn Ishaq, and I mentioned to you before as well, and Tabari as well. But this is so far. If this story is true, then it's only fair to give him the money.
So far, can you just tell us how much he was given to fight with them?
No, not fight with them. After the fight was finished. After the fight was finished. 100 camels. He said 100 camels.
100 camels. Okay, that's just nothing. 100 camels is the amount of the same camel where they were giving Muhammad's father. Okay, beloved.
So for my information, Abbas, so was he Muslim on the day of Hunain or was he not?
According to this story, no, he wasn't.
So
not even when booty was given, he was not, according to this story. But this story is in Ibn Ishaq and Tabari.
Okay,
and I said if he fought with the Muslim, if the full story we believe, then I think it's fair, even if he was a non-Muslim, but he was a friend of Muslim.
Yeah, but that wasn't a question
fighting
to you.
for Muslim, so he must have a share as well.
Okay, so our whole disagreement was whether he was a Muslim or not. We showed you lots of evidence that he wasn't Muslim. You were fighting so hard with so much confidence on wrong information that he was a Muslim, correct?
Half correct and half not correct.
Okay, yeah, we were just on the point. We didn't disagree with you about who
you didn't say anything that he fight for Muslim.
It doesn't matter. That's not. We didn't bring that up.
It does matter.
No, we didn't bring it up. We asked you, was he Muslim or not?
He was part of the Muslim army, so I guess everybody was given money. Why he wouldn't as well?
You admit that you were fighting us so hard on something that now you find out was wrong. That you were wrong.
See, I am a Muslim, and I accept if the story is true, I'm half wrong there.
Then what my point is,
I accept that he was given money because he fought for Muslims.
My point is, you fight when you don't know so hard. Then you find out later you're wrong. You were so confident telling us, no, he was not mushrik. We showed you on the screen, mushrik everywhere. And you were like, no, he was Muslim. We showed you he was the most hated to the Prophet. He said himself, no, he was Muslim. But his iman was not high enough. That's what you said. So then you were lying out of ignorance.
He was most hated to the Prophet, you said?
You said his iman was not high enough.
No, you say he's most hated to the Prophet.
His iman was not high enough, but he was Muslim. The Prophet wanted his iman to increase. That's what I said.
You misquoted me. I said probably. I said probably.
That's what I was saying. So hard when you didn't. You should have said, "I'm gonna go find out." That's my point. That's our point. I bet.
Yeah. So what I found out,
because for people who are listening to you and Muslim, they could have believed you, and now it's wrong.
What I didn't know that any non-Muslims were fighting for Muslims. I didn't know.
Yeah,
that,
but you're telling us now,
I just learned now.
You're humbled by that information. So my point to you is, when you don't know, say, "I don't know. I'll go and find out." Don't fight.
You're not getting what I'm saying. Are you?
I'm getting what you're saying. You told us. We told you he was a mushrik. We showed you lots of evidence.
Tell me one thing. Is it fair that he fought for Muslims that he should have got some booty as well?
That wasn't a point to you. That wasn't a point to you.
That is the point. You saying he gave him the money so he will become Muslim. He gave him the money because he fight for Muslims.
We asked you.
That's the difference here.
We care about coming to the religion. We care about conversion. We asked you, was he Muslim or not on the day he was given all that money by Muhammad. You said he was Muslim, but his iman was not high enough. Muhammad was being generous to him. We will show you lots of evidence that he was mushrik, and now you say, oh yeah, he wasn't Muslim.
No, what I could not believe it, that a non-Muslim fighting against Islam and he was given money out of the booty. Doesn't make no sense unless he become Muslim. So when I found out he fought for Muslims,
or when
even
you
though
found
he was
out,
a non,
even
though he was a non-Muslim, then it's fair that he was given money.
So when did you find out?
And it makes sense to me. There's nothing wrong.
When
As
did
I
you-
said, I
when
just
did you
read
find
now,
out?
and this is Ibn Ishaq and Tabari, which are, to me, is a dubious work. There are a lot of false information there. I'm going to look in. I'm saying even if I accept this story, it's still fair in my view. Is it not fair in your view?
It's what is fair is when I speak to someone and they're so confident about something, I expect them to have known it and not to find out later something else. That's what I expect.
I never claim that I know everything.
You did. The way you were telling us, we were showing you mushrik, and you were saying no, he's Muslim.
If I knew it, then I would say probably. Would I say probably?
You shouldn't have said anything. You should have said, I'm gonna go
This is why I say this guy is a complete waste of time. He's a waste.
You're lie. That's what we're talking about, Abbas. Muslim
I'll
Dawah.
give you a trophy later on. Don't worry.
Well, that's what we're talking about, Abbas. Muslim deceivers.
No, this guy deserves a medal. Trust me. He's so right.
No. Don't be attacking my brother. You come and deceive. That's
I'll attack him all day long. He's an Islamophobe.
Well, you're lied, Abbas. And then you correct yourself later. That's the problem for people who listen.
I'm a Muslim, and I'm a Muslim. I follow the truth. So if I'm wrong, I accept it.
It is okay to lie. Therefore, it is okay to label people. Thank you very much for confirming that. Thank you very much for confirming.
To be wrong doesn't mean you're a liar.
You know much better than Ibn Qadir.
I'm not right on something, that doesn't mean I'm a liar.
Thank you very much for confirming. Ibn Ishaq and Tabari made mistakes, so you know much better than them. So we are grateful for you.
Imam Malik thought Ibn Ishaq was a liar.
Once you do your homework alongside of your other homework,
what homework?
Please
homework?
do it.
I just told you.
Whatever
you ask, I just gave you the information.
Be kind enough and then tell us what was the intellectual reason this gentleman converted to Islam after getting 100 camels.
Can I say before I go? Can I say something before I go?
No. I already given you.
I have a question for you. When are you going to answer my question?
I have first.
You always ask questions.
First, give me the names of those two people. Remember your homeworks. Give me the name of those two people for Surah 9, verse 120.
I already gave
129.
I already gave you the answer.
And then also please provide the your.
You're not going to answer my question then.
Also provide your justification for this live stream.
Why you guys are so scared of defending your faith? Why?
Where we get to see how Muslims are practicing deception, and maybe be kind enough also.
You only like to ask questions, but you will never defend your faith.
How many camels did they give you to become Muslim? How many camels did they give you to become Muslim?
Okay, brilliant. You got a medal as well. Trust me.
How many camels are best?
What is this? I'm asking you. I say, when are you guys going to answer my question?
How cheap is your God?
Why don't you say what's your question? Why don't you say that?
Okay, I'm just
be brave and say what's your question.
I'm just gonna hang up with Abbas in the intention. He's got lots of homework to do, and I think 100 camel is too much for him, sister.
How cheap is your God that he buys and sells souls for 100 camels? It's pathetic. Oh, because he fought on this side, on that side. So it's not about God, it's about fighting. Shame on you and your prophet and your 100 camels. They'll all be burning with you in the lake of fire if you don't repent.
Okay, so, Brother Jag, since you are not happy with the conversation, why don't you summarize the argument for us once all with the Muslim respond regarding buying the souls?
Yeah, just to be clear, I'm happy with the conversation. It just, this guy, as you can see, he just makes things up. He lies all the time. And so it's not the conversation, it's just him.
It becomes difficult when people who express themselves as Muslim, they just pick and choose what they want to pick and choose.
Right.
And deny and publicly practice deception. That always becomes difficult.
Exactly. So yeah, so this whole issue is about the fact that Muslims are practicing Dawah deception today. They're posting videos of supposed conversions that, you know, for all we know, could have been people that were already Muslims and they're lying, or they've been paid money, just like Muhammad paid people money to convert them to Islam. From 6 years ago, they're posting these videos claiming that this is happening today at the World Cup just 2 weeks ago. Oh, people are the Dawah is so amazing at the World Cup. People are converting to Islam. Look at Zakir, Naik, da, da, da. No. And then all of a sudden we examine the videos. This video is from 6 years ago. And then we see other people who are claiming to be doctors, titles of doctors, saying, I embraced Islam at the World Cup. I saw the generosity of the Muslims, blah, 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 blah. And then we find things from them from 9 years ago, saying that they were already Muslims then 9 years ago. So they lie. It's so ingrained in their religion to lie for their God. It's so ingrained to lie, to lie for Muhammad, to lie for their fake God, that they have no problems with it. Because Muhammad himself, he had no morals at all, no dignity at all. And what he would do to people would be, sometimes he convert people by the sword. Sometimes he convert people by bribing them, giving them money. I mean, this is not a religion of truth. It's a religion of just bring as many people as you can. You know, I was reading an article about the apostasy laws in Islam, and they talked about just killing in general. And in one of the parts of the article, they're just talking about killing in general. They're saying that when it came to people who mocked Muhammad, that the tongue, going to war with Muhammad with the tongue is more dangerous or more important to Muhammad than actually with the sword. And they gave examples saying that people who would verbally assault Muhammad and attack him were killed. Almost no exceptions to that rule. But people who were physically at war with him with the sword, sometimes he would forgive them, quote unquote, forgive them. Why would he forgive? Because they're good warriors. He would use them for a purpose. Someone who's making fun of him with a poem or poetry, he has no purpose for them. He thinks he's you know, the poet of that God gave, you know, his faults God gave. So he doesn't need a poet, but he does need warriors. So if you're a warrior and you fought Muhammad, maybe he'll let you live if you fight for him instead. If you're a poor, if you're whatever, if you're a person who's just after corruption and whatever, Muhammad will give you that. If you're someone who's looking for, you're looking for this paradise that has so many women for you and so much wine, and you can drink all the wine and you never get drunk, and then you have all these slave boys as well who don't bleed. If this appeals to you, there you go. So this is the religion that Islam is. It's not a religion of truth. It's not a religion of seeking truth or finding truth. It's a religion of bribery. It's a religion of killing. It's a religion of deception. So that's my summary.
Okay, thank you, brother. Thought of Christ, what are your comments on the conversation just took place?
It's basically taqiyya. It's what we're talking about, da'wah deception. People coming in to defend their religion, not knowing who the guy's name is. Safwan ibn Umayyah, I didn't know his name, but so adamant that he was not a Muslim. Do you know why he was so adamant that he was not a Muslim on the day Muhammad gave him all that money? Because it's embarrassing to give a kafir all that money and then the kafir becomes a Muslim. That means you bought his conscience with money. But that's what Muhammad did. And the whole group of al-mu'allafati qulubuhum in Islam, the ones that the Muslims give zakah to, they give their alms, they give the money, as long as together with the poor and needy, also a subset of that money going to attract people's hearts to Islam. You attract people's hearts to Islam with money. And that's a problem, sister. And people come to defend so hard, and then they come back with their tail between their legs. Oh, actually, yes, he was a kafir. Yes, yeah, he was a kafir who had 100 camels from Muhammad. That money, 100 camels to a kafir. Great. Yeah, why? So that he can recruit him to be a fighter, like our brother Jai said. And then he becomes the most beloved to me. What's God got to do with this deal that your prophet was doing with people to buy their conscience, buy their loyalty, basically? Nothing. God has nothing to do with these dirty deals. That's not a religion of God. That is a thug recruiting for his group. That's all. Go on, sister.
Yeah, also, it might be helpful for us to remember we want to know if his soul is not being bought into Islam with the camels or with the money, then what is his top 10 reasoning that he become a Muslim? So I am sure if that was the case, throughout Islam, we will read those stories, and probably Mr. Muslim will provide answer to this question. Top 10 reasons why he did become a Muslim. Let me take the next caller in. Hello.
Oh, hello. Hello, Miss Hatoun. Hello, Sister of Christ. Hello, Jah. Hello, everyone. Yeah,
Hello.
I think you know who I am.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. I miss talking to you, Miss Hatoun. It's been a few weeks since I've been down at the Speaker's Corner. I'm sure you're there every week causing trouble. So,
No
or,
problem at all. So we are talking about mainly the informations are coming out from Qatar.
I see it.
Yeah, where videos are up on social media. Muslims, people are becoming Muslims. Islam is like Muslims are so generous, therefore people are becoming Muslim. Blah blah. From the World Cup, where blood of people built that stadium. So, what are your thoughts on how Dawah gangs are deceiving?
Well, I mean, can I just speak to the camel issue for 1 second? One thing is the camels are actually on average cost $5,000 each. So 100 camels is actually quite generous if you actually look at it. And some camels can actually cost millions of pounds, depending on if they're racing camels. So camels are not as cheap as people think they are. The other thing is
even in one part, I can't remember where it is, but there is a beauty pageants for camels.
Yes, there's also beauty pageants for camels in some Arab country. Yeah, they do like their camels a lot, especially those long eyelashes. But anyway, as far as this gentleman and his sources, it was quite funny that he said, I'm going to go find hadiths, and then he came back with Ibn Kathir. So he went to find hadiths, clearly couldn't find them, and then came back with the same commentary and Tabari that you guys already pointed him to. And then he claimed that he was only half wrong because the person fought with the Muslims. Well, the thing is, this is, by the way, this goes to medieval wartime sort of strategies, is that you don't give booty to people. I mean, this was his original argument, which he then had to U-turn on. He thought that Muhammad just shared the wealth, the booty, with all the people that they just defeated. You don't give your wealth booty to the people you just conquered, because they're going to take that money and they're going to raise an army against you again. That is the most insane thing anyone would ever do. That doesn't even make sense in medieval wartime situations. You don't give money to the people you just crushed. You, in fact, crush them, and in his case, in the case of Muhammad, you either take the ones who you think are going to be on your side and you bribe them, which is essentially what he was doing, into fighting for you. So he was building up a mercenary army for himself. That's essentially what he was doing. And to be honest, that's not a terribly bad thing. That's a clever thing to do. You take the group of people you just conquered, find the ones that are corruptible or malleable for you to take into your army, and you bribe them, you convert them to Islam, however way you get them to be on your side, and then you build up a mercenary army to take to the next campaign, which again makes perfect sense in medieval strategy. But as far as Qatar is concerned, of course, they are going to claim all of these things, because Muslims genuinely believe that if non-Muslims just hear the Quran, they will just simply fall to their knees. This is exactly what Muhammad Hijab tried to do with Jordan Peterson, where he suddenly started reading the Quran in this really ridiculous way, because he thought that if Jordan Peterson just hears the Quran, that sublime singing from Muhammad Hijab, then his heart will melt and he will immediately take his shahada. And he was, I think, I don't know if he was surprised or if it was what, but I think Jordan Peterson did his best just to keep himself from either laughing or, he literally said immediately after Muhammad Hijab finished reading the Quran was, why do you think that was an appropriate thing to do? Because that's just insane for most people. I don't go to some meeting or a podcast or come here and then suddenly start singing, I'm a hero, it would just be ridiculous. So Muslims genuinely do believe that if people kafirs just hear the Quran, they'll just fall to their knees, and they don't realize that's not how it works.
In the past, I think it was me and Daughter of Christ. We looked at testimony of a person who became a Muslim, and she expressed that she was in a Muslim country where she heard the azan, and then she was like, wow, and then she became a Muslim. Daughter of Christ, do you remember that?
Yeah, which is the stupidest thing ever, because you could be saying like, I will kill you in a singing voice. You don't know what they're saying.
Exactly.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you. And then,
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, for
So-
me, for someone like me who's from an Islamic background and comes from an oppressive Islamic country, the azan it gives me PTSD. I'm not joking. It's like it brings back horrific memories of when I was under the Islamic Republic. So for a lot of non-Muslim, or not a lot of people who've been Muslims and are murtadeens effectively, or converted to another religion, it's actual trauma to hear the azan. It brings back trauma from the time when they were Muslim and all the things that they have suffered under the Islamic rule wherever they happen to be. So people don't realize it's the association music has in your head is it can be very different to different people. Sorry, go ahead, Chris, sister.
Sister, what do you feel when you hear the Quran or the azan?
I'm just like, oh, where are my headphones? I need to get rid of this noise. Noise is so bad. And then, like, it's just like, you turn on the BBC and then you listen these singers, or you turn on radio and then you listen these singers, and then you don't like suddenly fall in love with them, because you just like, wow, they've got beautiful voice. Plus, you are listening azan in a language you don't even understand. They might be cursing you, you don't even know. I remember once, like, I was in a Muslim country where we were eating, and then azan goes on, and then like they are praying for Muhammad. Allah is praying for Muhammad. After, like, that was in the prayer thing they were saying. Like, if you don't know anything, you're just like, wow, this is beautiful. If you know a little bit, you're just like, this is full shirk. I shouldn't be here at all. Just not good reasons to put your eternity on the noises which you don't even understand. And it is wrong all over.
Yeah. I mean, I know you guys discussed. I had to rewind back and see some of the stuff you guys talked about with the 4 people converting, and the video was a sham, and it was from 2016. It's the thing is, these tactics. By the way, Shamsi pays £20 for every shahada. That was exposed like several years back, where they caught him. I know it's very cheap, but basically it's been proven that these so-called Dawah people, they pay for shahadas in order, as long as the shahada is very public, they have to record it. It has to be, I don't know, somewhere in like Speaker's Corner or something. But there's plenty of evidence where these Dawah gangs have paid people prior to come to Speaker's Corner to create this scene where they're taking their shahada. Like, the guy pretends to be an atheist or something, and he argues for a few minutes with Shamsi, and then eventually takes his shahada, and everybody's like, oh, Allahu Akbar, he converted. These shams. These people. The thing is, these con artists, these charlatans, have been around for decades. They were exposed in America, these Christian televangelists and their private jets and their expensive houses and cars, and they were found to be those. There was a guy, Ted Haggard, who was also complaining or talking about the devils of homosexuality and the evils of homosexuality. They caught him with a gay lover. The very thing that he was preaching about. These charlatans have been shown everywhere, and the Muslim world is no exception. There are plenty of charlatans and liars, and people like Zakir and Naik make their living out of this business. These people are not faithful people.
As a Christian, we call people who claim to be Christian and try to make money from Christianity, or when they preach the false gospels, we call them out because it is our Christian duty to do so. It is sins in Islam. It is like you cover the sin of other person. That's how it goes, and you don't even see that as a sin. Money buys everything. In this occasion, money buys soul. Jai, or daughter of Christ, what are your thoughts on 20 pounds for each shahada? I think it's cheap.
Brother Jai?
He's
Yeah,
he's
it's not surprising. Not surprising. They're just following the footsteps of Muhammad. This is exactly what he did. You know, he embraced. One of the ways he got people to embrace Islam was through money, was through this type of paying people off or whatever, or sparing their lives. Something like that. So yeah, this is not surprising at all. What's surprising though is that when people do this, in for example in Christianity, when we do have these charlatans that are exposed, that they're completely going against the teaching of Jesus, that's when we should be surprised, because when they're doing something that's in line with their founder of their religion, then it's surprising because it's like a terrible thing, but it's not so shocking because okay, the student's not greater than his master. So the surprise maybe should be from Muhammad, not from Shamsi. But if you really want to be surprised, someone who is claiming to be a Christian and doing something like that, well, Jesus, we already give references showing where he said the exact opposite. People who were following just because they wanted to be fed, not because they actually believed. In John chapter 6, 27, I think was the passage we read earlier. This is a surprise, going against the teachings of Jesus. This guy also, Abbas, he brought up, Rabbi Zacharias, for example. Again, this is something that was against Jesus. He never taught the things that Rabbi Zacharias did. However, Rabbi Zacharias was doing things that Muhammad did. So just link. I mean, people who should be following the teachings of their Lord, their Master. That's what we should be doing. But when your Lord and your Master teaches to do evil things, like in Islam or whatever else, then that just shows the evil of their religion.
Okay, thank you. Beloved, any comments so far?
Well, if it cost Muhammad 5,000 pounds per camel and he gave 100 camels, then Islam's value has really, really gone down over the centuries to be 20 pounds now. That means the stock has plummeted, the economy of Islam has crashed, and the supply and demand are not the same. So I would say, maybe in 10 years' time, it will be £1 and maybe even 50p or however the stock market is going, but it looks like it's going down.
Well,
Miss Hatun, I'm gonna drop off because I'm sure you guys got other guests and everything else. Thank you so much for having me. I will find that Shamsi videos because I saw it quite a few years back, and I'll post it for you when I find it. Thank you. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye. As Daughter of Christ said, so if camel is $5,000, 100 camels is 500,000. And that's only Muhammad is giving someone else's money to one person. If Islamic Dawah gang is getting 20 pounds for one shahada, that doesn't look good. But I know like people who do live streams and then they ask like, okay, give us this amount of couple of £100. We will do name dropping stuff. Do you remember those, like how that was the other ways of buying the souls? But anyway, let's take the next caller. Hello.
Peace of Christ be with you, brothers and sisters.
And with you, sister, how are you?
I'm well by God's grace. How are you?
Can you just introduce yourself to people who you are?
Yes, I am Sister K. Muhammad is a false prophet, and Allah's false God.
Thank you. So we are talking about Dawah deception. What have you got for us?
Yes, I've seen some of that throughout the week, and I knew that they were going to take an opportunity to lie and expose themselves when when it was announced for Qatar, the World Cup, to be there. I just didn't know that it would be that bad. I figured they would have enough time to prepare better lies than these tweets that can be exposed that this person just converted to Islam when they had been a Muslim for years. But also, it's just very interesting that and from the perspective of Christianity, you see Jesus paying not us off. He paid for our debt, our sin debt. And you have Muhammad just trying to bribe people just to follow him. He is the blind leading the blind. And so it's just very interesting how our loving Lord and Savior is leading people to truth, and Muhammad is just leading people into deception and blindness.
Yeah. Thought of Christ, any thoughts?
Yeah, hello, Sister Kay. How are you? Good to have you.
Good to have you as well. Hi, Brother Jai, Daughter of Christ. How are you both?
Who's that on your profile pic, sister?
It's a mixture. It's a mixture. It's Uthman's body, and it's a guy named Jussie Smollett who he faked an attack and was found out to be lying. And so basically, I
Why
guess
do you have that? Why do you have that as your profile picture?
Because it's funny. Because I copied and pasted Jussie Smollett's head over Ibn Farooq, who we know he was attacked by a ketchup packet. So that's why he faked an attack also.
I think your own picture or any picture from creation would look better.
Well, you can't really get the picture inside of here. It actually says, it's a cop speaking. It says, "So you were attacked," and this was his response, was that he looked like the guy that faked an attack that became national news in America, and maybe even some international news outlets. So I just thought that was funny and ironic because he did exactly that same thing weeks, or was it a couple months after Jussie Smollett was attacked, supposedly, allegedly.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just trying. I was never bribed. No one ever tried to convert me to Islam. So I feel like betrayed. Like, no one offered me any money. Jeez, they just told me I couldn't eat pork, which I was like, I'm not giving up my bacon.
You just told us Jesus paid for our debt, and now, like, you are saying no one tried to convert you. Jesus already changed and transformed you. There is no one and nothing can buy us from him.
Amen. I'm just saying, whenever I've engaged with Muslims for Dawah, it's usually a wedding ring at the end of it. It's not.
What are you talking about, sister?
Okay, let's focus. Let's focus. So, here's the tweet you were talking about. Beloved, would you like to just summarize this tweet which Sister K is making point about?
So, Sister K, you see, it's a person called Dr. Coco, and it's from
this might be the doctor, like Zakir Naik, medical doctor. You never know.
Why are they all doctors? They're ruining the profession. But anyway, this tweet is from 22nd of November 22. 22nd of November, last week, was it? Week before? Saying, I just converted to Islam in Doha, Qatar. Came to watch the World Cup after seeing the generosity of Muslims. Yeah, there's that word again, sister, that Abbas was talking about. After seeing the generosity of Muslims, I converted. I feel like I'm on the wrong path. Please, sisters and brothers, welcome me to Islam. But the same Dr. Coco, and if you see at the bottom, there's a screenshot from 2013 saying, I am a Sunni. So somebody's lying, and that person didn't clean up their tweets from all those years ago enough.
So I don't have that much experiences. But basic human principle I learned in life, which I am willing to kind of improve my learning skills, is when someone says, welcome me, and then next phrase is like into your house or into your religion, that means actually you don't want them, they are forcing themselves into your house. I experienced that. I'm sure Sister K knows what I'm talking about. When people seem say like, okay, welcome me into your house. I'll have whatever you have. I am not complicated. That means like actually you don't want them there, but they force themselves into it. And in this occasion, probably no one wanted this lady into Islam because people knew she was lying or he was lying. And then she says like, welcome me into Islam.
This is so bad.
So shameless. Who says I've seen the generosity and welcome me, please? That means they want want something.
Well, like, okay, if it's so true, why would you have to lie like this? Like, there's no. I know that takia is allowed. I get it, but like, if it's just truth, and if Islam is true, which we know is a bald-faced lie, I just. Why do you just have to? You just lie, like just very so freely and naturally. It's mind blowing for me. I don't understand
Probably
it.
got £20. Probably got those £20 from somebody and did it.
She's not even saying like thanks for welcoming me. If you say like you are just like gently encouraging other person to welcome you, but when you say like welcome me, you're just like forcing yourself into
They're saying please do it.
Yes, welcome me into your home.
Yeah. Lot of Christ, thank you for welcoming me into your house.
Welcome me into your bank account.
Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, sadly, there is an ideology encourages that, and there are people who are practicing that, and just messed up. I wonder if those people who kind of so converted in Qatar, when they go home and then they start living their life as it was before, who is gonna deal with all this apostasy and like chopping and more chopping. Brother Jai, any comments before I kick Sister K out?
Wait, I have one more thing.
Oh, okay.
No, but Brother Jai, please. How are you?
Hey, Sister K, God bless you. No, go ahead. You can say what you want to say.
Oh no, please go. I haven't heard from you, so God bless you, brother.
Okay, this is not for your fellowship meeting, sister. Don't destroy my live stream with your fellowship skills. Who wants to go first? Jai or Sister K? Make your point.
Go ahead, Sister K.
Sister K.
Men first, but okay. No, all I was going to say is that I was trying to get on earlier because, I mean, since Abbas was giving references, and it's almost been a year since I was in the UK, and I hadn't got a reference for what the punishment is for Muslims killing Christians under Sharia. He hasn't given me that reference yet.
I remember that.
Join the queue, sister.
Probably he heard you. Hopefully he will get you the reference. But you could say, thank you very much for welcoming my... I am very... You need to say like something nicely. You need to say it like, thanks for welcoming my question and providing your answer, which I'm looking forward to receive it.
I'm not that well spoken, sister.
That's okay. You can learn lots from me.
That is true. Well, thank you for welcoming me to your home and to your country.
We'll send you 100 camels later.
Thank you.
Thank you for welcoming yourself into my live stream by forcing. Brother Jai, do you have any comments, brother? You've been silent.
Yeah, I mean, it just over and over again, we can just give example after example of Muslims following Muhammad in this practice of lying for their Allah, lying for their religion, lying for Muhammad. And I mean, yeah, I guess I just, I'm just getting repetitive at this point. So I don't have anything else to add, but it's just, we can just give many examples of this from the Islamic sources themselves.
Thank you, brother. Sister K, what will be your one advice to Dawah gangs who are practicing deception even today?
You said, what is my thought?
Your advice. I'm sure you are. We love to welcome your advice in this topic, which you will love to share your advice on Muslims who are lying today.
Come to Jesus Christ. He is the truth. Your deception will be exposed. And it's going to continue to be exposed. That is why you have to do deception, is because you know many people that come to the full knowledge of what Islam is and what it's about, they leave, and they're leaving at record rates. The only thing you have is birthing by saying that you have numbers. But if you had the truth, there would be no need for you to lie. But since you don't have the truth, you have to continue in following Allah, who's the best of deceivers, and continue to lie. And Muhammad is the best of thievers. So that's it.
Thank you very much, sister. Thanks for welcoming yourself into the live stream. Hopefully we will see each other again, not in my place, but in someone else, when someone else welcomes you. God bless you, sister.
God bless you. Take care. Bye.
Daughter of Christ, thank you very much for welcoming Sister K into your house.
No, that's okay, sister. You're welcome. If you know Jesus, you're welcome in my house.
Okay. Who would like to summarize for us what we had here?
I can give a summary, sister. We saw Dawah gang deceptions. We saw Uthman ibn Farooq, his own brothers, calling him out on the staged attack. We've seen Zakir Naik using a video from 6 years ago of people converting, apparently, to say that they're converting now in Qatar. We've seen tweets from Muslims saying, I've just come to Islam, when actually they've been Muslims from like 9 years ago from their other tweets from that time back. We've seen a Muslim who came on the live stream, Abbas, kept claiming that we were wrong about Muhammad giving a polytheist money, booty, so to come to Islam, saying no, he was a Muslim when he wasn't. And he came back and retracted, saying yes, he was a non-Muslim, given money, given 100 camels, which is what he told us, by Muhammad to buy his loyalty, to buy his heart. And it's just sad, sister, the way the devil brings people into false religions like Islam and cults, is to basically appeal to people's greed, people's love of money, love of possessions, enticing them, lying to them, giving them camels, giving them money. Basically, like it says in Surah 9, verse 60, that zakah money, a subset of people that should get that money is people that you want to incline their hearts to Islam, using money instead of using the truth. That's not a true faith. That's not from God. God doesn't need to buy your loyalty and your heart with money or camels, for goodness sake, or possessions, or war booty, or even any of that thuggery war stuff. It's with the truth, and the truth is the Lord Jesus Christ. People followed him because of the words that he preached, the signs that he showed to show that he's from God, and the truth that he is, because he is the way to eternal life and to the Father. That's it. There was no money involved. There was no dirty deal. There was no exchange of possessions or money to get people to love him. He was enough. That's all, sister.
Amen. Thank you very much, sister. Brother Jai, any conclusion statements? And then maybe if you unpack Jesus' statement from John again, that might be helpful for us as well.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, I was reading from John chapter 6 earlier, and I was just making a contrast between what Jesus did with people who he knew that were following him for the wrong purposes versus Muhammad. Jesus said in John chapter 6, starting in verse 26, Jesus answered them and said, most assuredly I say to you, you seek me not because you saw the signs, but because you ate the loaves and were filled. Do not labor for the food which perishes, but for the food which endures to everlasting life, which the Son of Man will give you, because God the Father has set his seal on him. And I'll just keep reading because the next verse is very relevant as well to our conclusion here. Then they said to him, "What shall we do that we may work the works of God?" Jesus answered and said to them, "This is the work of God, that you believe in him whom he sent." So Jesus knew that there were people that were following him who didn't actually believe in him. They just wanted the rewards. They just wanted the food, that the miracles, the loaves, the fish, etc. Jesus said that those people who are following him, in fact, he says, Jesus even says to his own disciples, he said, like later on in the chapter, he goes on and says, like, does this offend you when he says to eat of his flesh and drink of his blood? And then he says, there are some of you who do not believe, for Jesus knew from the beginning who they were who did not believe and who would betray him. And he said, therefore, I've said to you that no one can come to me unless it has been granted to him by my Father. So this granting of the Father, this was so offensive to the Jews, and it was also a confusing statement that even the disciples, he says, like, this is a hard saying, who can understand it? And then Jesus says to his own disciples, "Do you also want to go away?" But Simon Peter answered him, "Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life." So this is very amazing. I mean, look at this here. Jesus is willing to say, even to his closest ones on earth, to him, the disciples that were following him and with him day to day, do you also want to turn away? Do you also want to leave like the other left? Imagine if Muhammad was in this situation. Do you think Muhammad actually cares about the truth of who's following him for the right reasons or for the wrong reasons? Muhammad, the contrast is so major. Please, Muslims, open your eyes, open your ears, hear, listen, and see. Your prophet was in these situations. And instead of answering in this righteous, amazing way that the Lord Jesus answered, because truth is what is valuable, what did Muhammad do? Muhammad, he gave food, he gave treasures, he gave money, he gave camels, whatever else. He bribed people to become Muslims. Please, yeah, he didn't say please. Sorry, the sister corrected me on that earlier. I don't want to corrupt the words of Muhammad. He didn't say please. But what he did was he begged them. He begged them to become Muslims by these rewards that he was giving them, whatever means he was giving it. Sometimes he would force people to become Muslim by the sword. Sometimes he would bribe people to become Muslims because of what they receive in the afterlife. But Jesus never did these things. Jesus never lied, and he never bribes you. He never says, "Oh, please come follow me, and I'll give you this, I'll give you that." No, he tells you, if you can't accept this, do you also want to walk away like these guys walked away? Because Jesus said, "I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. No one comes to the Father except through me, except by me." So Jesus is the truth. And if you can't accept him, he's not going to compromise. He's not going to change his ways or, give you money to follow him or something like that. He's not desperate for followers. He loves you. He loves you. He wants your heart. And Muhammad was just so fleshly. I mean, even to compare and contrast, it's like comparing like clean with like the filth. Muhammad is the filth and the worst of the worst. And Jesus is the Lord. He's the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings. And no one can compare to him. So we offer all the Muslims, everyone who's an unbeliever, atheists, Hindus, Buddhists, rabbinic Jews, whoever is listening to us, to repent, turn away from your sin, turn away from the current lifestyles you're living, come to the Lord Jesus for the truth, and embrace him as your Lord, believe in him, follow him, and this is the only way you can have eternal life. So it's not a matter of bribery. It's not a matter of this or that. It's a matter of truth. And that's what we have to say. That's what I have to say. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, brother. You cannot buy heart. You cannot buy love. You cannot buy true worship. Therefore, Lord Jesus Christ, eternal Son of the Father, gave himself for us. I'll pick up from John chapter 6 to remind us all what Jai said and daughter of Christ said. It is my Father who gives you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he who comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. Keep away from Islam. Keep away from Allah. Keep away from Muslim Dawah gangs. Keep away from anything and everything linked with Islam. And turn to Lord Jesus Christ, who gave himself for you. By God's grace, we will see you on another live stream. And Daughter of Christ and Jai, thank you very much for joining me. So, see you again.
See Jesus stripped of majesty. He hangs disfigured on a tree. A man of grief by man betrayed, like one from whom we turn away. Led like a lamb without a son, in mockery with violence crowned, a sacrificial offering, atoning for his people's sin. Oh, what amazing love! I bow before the cross, my pride reduced to dust. What amazing love! It overwhelms my soul, my broken life made whole.
See Jesus cold within the grave, cut off from life, our lives to save. We thought that God had punished him, but he was pierced for Adam's sin. Though we like sheep have often strayed, our waywardness on Christ was laid. To heal our wounds he drew our pain, to bring us peace he bore our shame.
Oh, what amazing love! I bow before the cross, my pride reduced to dust. What amazing love! It overwhelms my soul, my broken life made whole. See Jesus once again draw breath and rise to claim the spoil.